We are finally here. For those that are new, welcome. For those that have been here, welcome back. This is Good Earners reviewing The Sopranos. And here on Good Earners, we like to talk about family, finessing, finances, and feelings in the world of Tony Soprano, bringing you a new perspective, a fly perspective, and a black perspective. We have been loving all of the support in the comments. For those that have some weird comments, let's not get cute. Spike, Rich, how y'all doing today, man?
I want to know about the weird comments.
I was just about to say the same thing. Like, hold on, man, what's up? Doing all right though, man.
I don't like that type of talk.
Yeah, man. I'm wrapping up. Man, it's hard to believe. I'm wrapping up my first full season with y'all brothers.
Dang.
You know what I mean? So,
wow.
Second finale, first full season feels good.
Man, it's fire.
Looking forward to getting into the episode.
Absolutely, man.
You came through on this season, bro, for sure.
Yeah, we've been blessed to have you a part of this, brother.
Yeah, it's a lot of funny moments. A lot of funny moments, bro. I'm gonna have to figure out how to get clips.
You behind most of them, Mo.
I'm always behind most of them.
But most of the funny moments.
And we about to get into it, but by far the funniest moment by far is the trunk story. There's no moment that has lasted in my mind more than the trunk.
Hold on. Why did you edit that out of the YouTube?
Oh, you listened to it on YouTube?
Yeah, I wanted to see the reactions again.
Dang, you good, bro. You real good.
Yeah, man. I'm like, hold on, man. Where is that?
This story. Because, bro, it took me I ended up uploading it past our actual upload date because it wouldn't upload. I'm like, bro, what is up? What are they checking for? So I don't know why. I was like, maybe this part of it is an issue. So I said, let me take this part out, rebounce it out, re-upload it. It went right through. I was like,
I thought somebody hit you. I thought somebody hit you up. I was like, that's a great.
Nah, nobody hit me. Nobody hit me, but it was weird. I was like, maybe this is too far on that side for YouTube or something. I don't know. I have no idea.
That's funny, man.
I had to chop that out. But
he said, "Yeah, just hop in the trunk. Yeah.
Just real quick. Yeah, just real quick.
The casualness.
Watch your head.
It's the nonchalantness of it that's getting me weak.
Boy.
I'm gonna try to get that story on another week in the book. I'm gonna try to get the person.
I need a breakdown.
I'm gonna try to.
Man, by far, that's the funniest. That's by far the funniest. I don't think that'll ever be topped.
Nah, never. That's definitely. But we'll talk more about some of the best moments at the end of this episode. But speaking of this episode, Spike Lou, what episode are we reviewing today?
Man, this is the season finale, as you mentioned, Mo, of season 3, titled "The Army of One." In this episode, the search for Jackie Jr. heats up, and the pressure is on Ralphie to take care of it. Paulie requests a sit down, but he doesn't appreciate the outcome. Jackie makes a plea to Tony for help, and Tony tells Ralphie something need to be done sooner rather than later. The feds turn up the heat on the Soprano crew and have a new angle. Adriana finds her a new friend, and AJ may be headed to military school until Tony realizes they have a common trait. And some uninvited guests show up to Jackie's burial. This is the finale of season 3, titled "The Army of One."
Okay, we got a few short scenes, but we'll work through them. First, opening, AJ and his friend, they have broken to the school again. Obviously, they've done this before. They basically break in to fix their grades. Sorry, I'm thinking about the later scene. They're waiting. The friend decides he can't hold it. He ain't got a diaper on, so he decides to pee on the wall. Now AJ has to pee. He pees as well. We'll keep moving because I don't think it really requires a breakdown there. Jackie Jr., he goes to the hood. He's staying at the Boonton Holiday Inn. And
another funny moment.
It's in the projects in Boonton.
Dude. Oh my gosh. And he's hiding out. But how did he find this place? I gotta know this. How did he find this? Craigslist, newspaper? What's
First and foremost, man, shout out to the incredible Michael K. Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Gets a guest appearance in this show, before the Wire fame. But yeah, like Spike said, man, it's just his friends. You just know somebody that knows somebody. I need to hide out for a couple of days. I'm sure right now, if I needed to hide out for a couple of days, I know the right person to hit.
Yeah, and remember, dude was there. He said, good old friends are never find you here. The dude who introduced him to Omar, for lack of a better
that's pretty much how I got him labeled in those. Omar.
That's the funny part, or the thing you take the most from that scene is him saying that line. They'll never find you here. They knew exactly where he was. You can't hide from them, bro. We run this whole city. We got imprints in every single circle.
Everywhere.
Even the ones you don't think we do. Like, we got information. We know. That's how we stay afloat of our business and on top of our game. We know what's going on all over the place. Still put that shit together so quick. Man. He's in the projects and booting.
As soon as we find out where he is, like that's, oh man. But yeah, that's pretty much that. Really stupid move, but that's not gonna be the last. Well,
I mean, we'll talk about it when we get there. But the analogy for it being a stupid move throughout every scene with Jackie in this episode is fire. Like, they put their foot in that with the chess moves and every word. Yeah, it's fire.
The symbolism is
Facts.
Clear as day, boy. Paulie
Dad never taught you how to play chess.
Right, exactly.
Nope.
Exactly. Paulie and Mother Nucci, they go to Green Grove. We find out it's $40,000 for the deposit, but Paulie wants to keep it down. Like, don't, you know what I mean? Nucci is happy. And this is very interesting because it's the opposite of how Livia's reaction was for getting into Green Grove. Anything y'all gather from this scene right here?
Just that, the opposites. Not just their reactions between Mama Nucci and Livia, but we see a shift between Tony and Paulie. They're going the opposite direction as well, as we see throughout this episode. So he's trying to follow his footsteps and do the same thing. Listen, I'm making a little bit more money. Let me do some of the shit the boss does. And things ain't working out his way. He disgruntled, man. He been around the block. I done seen you for a long time. I knew you when you was a kid. You was a little guy, man. You a little fat, pudgy kid. I ain't even know if you can make it in this business.
Boy.
So it's starting to creep out, man. And Johnny Sacks, we're not there yet, but Johnny Sacks used that whole thing to his advantage, that generation thing. So
legend.
Boy.
The legend.
Yeah.
The legend.
Bro, it's a legend, man. So yeah, that's all I take from that scene overall. Just
I was surprised.
It's hard to. I'm sorry, man. It's hard not to laugh when knowing what's. We won't talk about it, but knowing that relationship, it's hard not to laugh at where things start.
Oh yeah,
it's the introduction of a wonderful storyline.
Yes,
I'll say that about it. It's what I always remember when I see this scene, but also the money. I guess I was surprised that it was that expensive, and it does add context to the kind of the pressure that Paulie's under. Like what Rich said, he's trying to keep up with Tony, and really, you ain't even in my league, bro. You play down there somewhere where you comfortable at, stressing yourself out trying to do what I do.
Yeah.
So I liked it.
It's a weird place to try to get a flex off.
Very much so, right?
You know what I mean? Like in this world, that's a weird place to get that, but we'll get there.
But it does a good job of showing building the value of how much he loves his mom.
Yeah, he's banking it right, and he's banking on this 50 grand. Knowing that it's 40 grand for the deposit. So yeah.
Putting the whole 50 grand towards a nursing home is insane.
We'll talk
As
about
Tony
the 50
was telling
grand. We'll talk about the 50 grand in a second.
I can't
anyway,
wait, bro. I can't wait, dog.
Yeah, I gotta get y'all opinion on something, man.
I can't wait, bro. Okay. Yeah, we probably got the same question, bro.
Sure we do.
Tony and Carmela. It's a breakfast at the Soprano house. Tony's reading the news. He notices it's quiet. He tells her about what he's reading in the newspaper. A 19-year-old kid, sophomore in college, was going to the NBA and dies from crack. And Carmela is thinking about Ro, and Jackie Jr. find out the news of him selling drugs.
Is this a Lynn Bias ripoff?
Bro, that's what I would.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Bro, rest in peace, Lynn
They
Bias.
just changed the school. It was Maryland instead of Michigan, yeah.
But that wasn't. But that was way before though, right? That was like
that was in
it was
86.
86. Okay,
great documentary about that, man. That's probably one of the best 30 for 30s I've ever seen.
You talk about just the confusion still, where it's just those unanswered questions you always just have, you just never understand. That's one of them things I just always like. I can't. It don't compute for me. You know what I'm saying? Like every time.
What doesn't compute?
It's just how it happened, like how quickly things change. I mean, that happens in life. It's not a fairy tale or magic or nothing, but it's just, it throws me like how quickly things could change like that in that moment of the highest of high, no pun intended, for it to just fall so quickly.
All from being drafted to being dead.
Yeah, man.
Ah,
Yeah,
gotcha.
bro. It's just one of them unanswered things that, like Tupac, he's just one of those people, like those things for me that I'm still at uneased about because of him being so misunderstood. And, but yeah. Anything else y'all get from this breakfast scene? They did a lot of, I feel like they did a lot of opening setups here before we get to like the real protein of the episode.
The biggest setup is everybody having to convince themselves of what happened. And they know what really happened, but they had to convince themselves. Carmela's planting the seeds of starting to tell herself, he was into drugs and this and that, like making the story sound better for herself because she knows, just as Meadow knows, what really happened to Jackie Jr. There's another moment with Carmela and Meadow when they have that same conversation and Carmela snaps on it. Like all of this is Carmela convincing herself because she knows it wasn't no drug shit.
Really? I want to double back
I
on
think
it
so.
when we get there.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Huh. Okay.
Yeah. Part of the life. She been around the block too long.
Fair assessment.
That
I want to
is a fair
double when we get there. When we get to the scene with her and Meadow, I'll ask. I want to step on it.
Okay. Ralph, Paulie, and Silvio.
One of my favorite scenes.
Ralphie owes Paulie says, bro, you owe me 50 grand. You got that off 100 grand. I gave you the security guy. You owe me 50 grand. Ralph starts counting his pockets, talking about, let me see, after you kick up, this price and this amount. He's like, what are you, my accountant? Like,
I can make you more money.
You know what I'm saying? And it's very interesting. And then I'll go a little further in the scene, but it's very interesting how we go back to Save Us All from Satan, where Paulie had that was like kind of his first complaint on business with Ralph when they were sitting on the dock, and he was like, hey man, there's this, he owed me for this. And then we get a little bit on we get a lot of Paulie frustration, but it's just this interesting thing that keeps happening right here. Like, you owe me, but yet you're stringing me along and you're having Vito call, which is very interesting to me because I feel like this is what women do. Like, call me.
That's not far off from Ralphie.
Call me. I'm on a date right now. Call me in this amount of time. If I send you a text, get me out of there, basically. What did y'all think about this interaction? And of course, we cannot forget about the funny Silvio line.
He's in the projects in Booton.
He's in that house in project. In the fucking Booton.
I find it interesting that Ralphie feels like he can play with Paulie like this. Pause. Like, he just really ain't taking him serious at all. Even the scheduled call from Vito and acting like it's Tony because he know that'll piss him off. Like, not even just call me and so I can get out of here. Oh, it's Tony. Like, this motherfucker calling him. He don't hit me up. Like, what's going on? I've been trying. So it shows how unserious that Ralphie is about Paulie. Like, he ain't taking him serious at all. But also, too, kind of the smarts that Ralphie has and how he's able to be such, wait for it, a good earner in the mall. You know what I'm saying? So it was perfect. I love this scene, man. And I love Silvio little input. Did y'all know he wasn't? Well, go ahead. Oh, did y'all know that was his wife for real? Did we talk about that?
Silvio's
wife. We talked about it. Okay.
Dope.
Pine Bear, one of them episodes we talked about.
It might have been.
I think it was last week.
It might be last week. Yeah, you might be right. Yeah.
No, Spike, that was well said. You said everything I was going to say, man. It's just really about, I'm bringing in the bread. Like, you might be ahead of me in rank as far as title, but we all know I'm bringing in the money, so I can do whatever I want to. Because nobody else could really have the balls to pull that off and act like Tony on the line and all that stuff, man. Just pure disrespect. He don't got no respect for Paulie.
Because Paulie never liked Ralphie from the gate going through the top of this season. Like, he just never liked him. He said Tony gets the big picture. Like, he never liked him from the gate. So it's very interesting, the through line. Yeah.
The real question I have is, where's my half? What you mean, where's your? I'd have laughed at Paulie's face, man. What you mean, where's my half? Half? Come on, man.
So he
Come on.
don't.
We
So
gotta
he
talk
don't
about
deserve
this, y'all.
half. What does he
We
deserve?
gotta talk about this, y'all. He deserves half. 50 G's.
All right,
He deserves half for the alarm code.
Okay.
Half?
What's the whole setup? See, that's the detail I'm missing. Like, okay, they break in on something, right?
All right, so it's one of those things where
lick. It was Paulie's lick.
Or should we
But
wait till we
Ralphie
get to the sit down?
Okay.
Okay, all right.
Okay, because they're gonna go. Okay, yeah, we'll get.
I only brought it up because Paulie sat down ASAP and said, "Where's my half?" I'd have laughed in his face as soon as he said that. I got you. Don't get me wrong, I got you. But you talking about half? Stop
but that's the all right. I don't want to jump ahead because I was about to say, but 5 is crazy. But we
5 is nuts. 5 is nuts. We'll talk about it.
That 5 is nuts. Excuse me.
Yeah,
all right,
we'll talk about it.
What y'all think about them pressing Ralphie about knowing Jackie robbed the game? Like Ralphie kind of that was the only time that he kind of cowered down. Like,
he did, right. but Ralphie did right because Paulie, while he knew he was giving him runaround, Paulie kind of pointed out, I was like, man, he shot your dealer and killed he killed your dealer and shot 2 made guys. But Ralphie did the right thing. It was like, pretty much like, this is my business though. Like, and he's right. You know what I mean? In that regard, it's like, that's why, they know he's in Boonton, but we're not acting on it because we know what the play has to be. It has to go through you. Tony is pretty much setting it up for you to make that call since you're captain now. So it's very interesting to me. I feel like any other calls, they would cap him off. But of course, they got to get the order from Tony. But yeah.
They were pressing him to make sure he did what he needed to be done because Tony ain't giving on a clear direction. So they're speaking for Tony pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jackie calls Tony and he's crying. And this is the moment that I've been speaking about some episodes ago. This is the real Jackie. This to me, this is where it finally came out, the facade, what you think, what you're acting like, you've been on the phone and you're crying. This is the real Jackie Jr. You're really a little boy playing a man to me. Like, you're not really a man yet. You're very much a little boy, and it really comes through in this very moment. With the phone call and Tony, Tony tries, he tries to lean on Tony when he did the robbery and everything. And Tony tells him like, hey, figure out the difference. Man, which is a fire line. And he tries to use the father thing again. And Tony says, nah, that's expired. And then of course the little girl says, Mr. X, do you play chess? And he says, no. What do y'all get from the scene? Did this feel consistent for Jackie to do something like this? Because it seemed like out of nowhere he was crying.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't know how to handle the situation. And that's what the whole premise of the Jackie thing. Like, you do not know what you're doing. In any scenario of this lifestyle, you have no clue what you're doing. Even when you try to compare the robbery between what me and your dad did, the phone call, none of it shows any experience. And then again, they're going to talk about it when we get to the chess scene. But I think it shows more so fear than the real Jackie. Mo, I feel like if he had gotten out of this situation, his expectation would have been, oh, they're going to accept me now. I'm a part of the life. Like, that's what he's thinking is going to happen because he don't know how the game go. He's never been taught the game. And he think that this is a part of it, and it's not.
And it's crazy to your point, Spike. He's been around the game his whole life, but still doesn't know it.
Yep.
Because it reminds me similar to Mustang Sally. He's far away from it. You get what I'm saying? He wasn't raised around it. He's away from it. He might be into some shit, but he's not into that. So the fact that they both did some shit that had repercussions and they both hiding out, worried, scared, you know what I mean? Just that comparison of I've been around this my whole life and I still fumbled this opportunity. I still fumbled this situation. And I love Tony's response. Man, don't call me, call Ralphie. I ain't got nothing. I'm getting as far away from this as I need to be. Like the balls of you even calling my crib.
I mean, bro, you're so ignorant. Like, what did you think would happen?
He thought that they would think he was like tough enough or cut out for the life because he's getting information from Ralphie, who you take what he says with a grain of salt. But it shows his dad, he was never really around because he was living the life. He was just always too far removed to have good information. Chris as we compared before, like someone took Chris under their wing. He was able to learn how to navigate this life. Like there are a lot of mistakes that Chris could have made to get killed in earlier seasons we've seen, but he has more experience in being a gangster. Jackie had none. He just saw it and thought it was appealing.
Yeah, it's like you find out people get whacked and no repercussions happen, and you're not getting the play-by-play on all that goes into it. Like you just get to walk away because maybe you seen your dad or heard your dad talking to one of his guys, and you think you just whack somebody and nothing happens. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like the reality. Now, no, there's a hit on your head, bro. You know what I'm saying? And so, but I do like the symbolization of like the little girl asking Mr. X, "Do you play chess?" And he says no, which is clearly his whole life. You know, he's never played chess. Shouts out to Nip, man. I ain't playing no games if it wasn't chess.
So my man's almost drowned in 3 feet of water,
bro. So many questions. Vito drops off a bag to Furio in the trunk, and Ralph and Tony talk. Only James Gandolfini could do this. They're sitting in the car, and he's doing that weird, scary, I'm being polite, but the undertone of authority. No, I've never seen anybody do this. Like perfectly. Like he's doing it well where you don't have to question what he's really feeling. I don't know how you capture that on the other side of a camera. Like you know how you'll watch a show and somebody's doing that, like they're smiling but they're saying something else. You be like, oh, okay. You be like, dude, did they feel that what they feel? You can tell what he feels, but it's like using two sides of your brain at one time. I don't know how he did this, bro. But golly, when he talks to Ralph this way, bro, what do y'all think about this scene? Because this is up for definitely for a contender. This is definitely a contender.
I would say the other person that does that well, our weekly wire cross reference, is Chris. And the example I would give, where he was walking Fat Boy down the alley.
Yeah.
And he was calm. He was like it was so relaxing, his mood and shit. But nigga, I'm walking you down here to kill you, put a bullet in your back of the head. When he killed what was the dude named Slim?
Even Fruit, like when he came to the park to get fruit, and he was like Chris, he was like, yeah, that's good. Like just so cool about it. Like, yeah, that's good.
Y'all right. You know what? Sure. Y'all right. You
know who else has who else has a little bit of it?
Who?
Damson is
a yeah. You know how you do that little quick little smirk like that. You know that thing he does.
That's good.
Where he's like, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, y'all right, but it definitely comes off the back of this.
But you're right. Doesn't take anything away from what you said, because you're right. Yeah. This was a fantastic job by James Gandolfini. But real quick before that, man just dropped off $300 cash to Tony, but he bickering with Ralphie over 50 grand. I just thought that was hilarious as far as how it plays out. But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. This probably getting a piece of his own medicine too. Because this is the same thing that Chris went through.
That's real.
Remember, Chris was breaking his back to get that money when Paulie was just trying to fatten the envelope to get a Tony.
That's a great pool.
That is a great pool. But like Ralph can be slick with almost. I feel like there's only like two people Ralph can get slick with because he can't outsmart them, and it's really Tony and Silvio. I think those are the only two people, but really Tony. Because look, okay, so y'all remember the sit down on Employee of the Month where they were sitting down and they were still trying to figure out a decision who's going to be capo. This is Gigi was still it ended up being Gigi, but he tells Ralph, "Hey, I'm putting my friend in over there," and then so Ralph tries to play this kind of personal thing where he rubs his nose. Jesus Christ, you had me at your house, Tony. But Tony immediately like, "You're not going to get me emotional. That was this is business." And so right here, he tries to do the same thing. He's like, "Yeah, hey, Tony, you're you're the boss and everything." And he's like, "Nah, but you're the captain. This is what you wanted, remember?" Like he tries to get that off, but it does not work with Tony, bro. Plus, I'm in therapy. It's not gonna work, dog. Like this scene is, I don't know, bro. This is definitely a contender for me, but Really, really good scene. Really good scene. The timely manner, all that. Like,
Yeah. What do y'all think Ralphie's hesitation is? He really clearly don't give a fuck about Rosalie.
yeah, he don't care about her.
So what's his hesitation in this?
I still think he has a thing for
There might be
kids.
something about.
Oh,
In a like loving, not a loving way, but like a the kid inside.
But it
of
almost
him.
feels like it almost feels like he and Tony had the same hesitation. And I'm assuming it's Tony's relationship with his dad and him probably making a promise, I'm take care of your son, whatever it may be. So I could see that, but I don't understand what Ralphie's hesitation is.
It might be
other
the same
than
thing.
he think that, yeah, because their dad was okay, cool.
Yeah, they was a crew together.
They were a crew.
I don't think he wants to be. I don't think he wants to be responsible. I think there's nothing else that paints that picture clear than when the actual scene happens. You know, when Vito gets back, that look on Vito's face. I think there's a weight that comes with being the person that is responsible for Jackie Jr.'s death. Like, that's Jackie April's son. Like, what? We took him out? Like, that's not some dude that shot up a card game. Well, he did. He is, but he's not just that. He's not like Dino. It's a little bit different.
The other guy.
I think that weight that comes with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we worked for him, man. We went to his family, man. I seen his kid grow up. You know, and for better or worse.
And it was also damn near you guys' responsibility to make sure that he didn't end up in this situation.
Yeah. And nobody wants to be. Yeah, that's the weight. That's the same reason why Carmela has to convince herself. Like I said, we'll talk about it, but like, you know, that's why she's even told Tony, like, you tried everything you could for him. Like,
I mean, it's just, could you imagine if this was AJ, bro? You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, could you imagine if this was AJ? Bruh, you know what I'm saying? The weight of this decision. Like, we look at him like, yeah, get him out of here. He's dumb. We don't like him. You know, whatever. But like, if this was AJ, even though we don't like him either, it would just be crazy. Speaking of AJ,
fucking idiot.
So AJ and his friend, they're at the office, and the principal is checking in, saying, "Hey, you know what? I want to commend y'all. Y'all did a great job with your math test. You both got a 96%. But it's funny, I missed the exact same problem. They're still, you know, AJ still rolling with it. He's like, hey, we studied hard. You know, both teams play hard, my man. And they're still rocking. Then he says, we got DNA. You got your DNA from peeing on a wall in the janitor's office. And the friend immediately starts crying. And AJ says, it's not my fault. He peed first. Like, you talk about tone deaf across the scene. Bro, this should not have been as fun. I cried like the friend, bro. Oh, my God.
I rolled my eyes. I hate AJ, man. This little fuck up, man. Just like a little fuck up.
So
you
stupid.
Can't do shit right, man. God, if I was Tony, I wouldn't even have been as mad at what they did versus nigga. You couldn't figure out how to get out of this.
Oh,
come
my
on,
God,
bro. What am I teaching you?
Yeah, clown.
Bro,
that's to an ASAP too.
Dog,
clown, bro.
That is
that nigga broke down,
bro. Now let me, bro. I remember when I got to fight my cousin. That happened to me before.
He knew that shit was over for him.
Cause I knew I was gonna get a whoop when I got home. That happened to me before, for real. Like,
and you did one of them breakdowns. Like,
I broke down. My cousin's like, bro, chill out. I was like a 6th grader. I'm like, bro, now when I get home, my mom gonna beat my. Come on, bro. But that was so funny because how quickly he broke. It wasn't even like no like. I don't even know. He even looked high. His eyes was red. I was like, bro,
you're a wild dude, Mo. You got to fight with your cousin in school.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It was all to try to impress because we was trying to impress a girl. We were trying to impress a girl, and we both was trying to sit at this desk. And I'm like, we doing the thing.
Been on Another Week in the Books.
Maybe.
I feel like you told this story on Another Week in the Books.
I didn't know it was your cousin.
One of the early episodes.
I don't remember it being your cousin.
Yeah, but
that's hilarious.
We both was fighting.
Your mom should have beat your ass.
Oh, yeah,
y'all could wait till y'all got home.
Nah, this wasn't no wait. Well, we was in front of the girl. Like, ain't no waiting. We're in front of the girl now. Like, and he pushed me, and the desk made that sound, so it made me look really weak. I like now. Oh yeah, exactly. So now we here, and there you go. Me and him, we didn't even really fight. We got in a crazy shove, grabbing each other thing. Yeah, and we went to the office, and the teacher just blew it way out of proportion. No, we got in-school suspension. Yeah, that was rough too.
ISS.
Yeah, boy.
ISS was rough.
Whew,
Yeah, you
boy.
definitely told this story on. You definitely told this story
Yeah,
on
boy.
one of the first 7 episodes.
That sounds like, yeah, that sounds about right. That's really
Yeah, it was one of the early ones.
OG. But yeah, this scene to me shouldn't have been this funny, but it was ridiculously funny to me, man. Like, cause AJ's, he's just so dumb. It's like you're not even paying attention to what he's talking about. Like, anyways, the feds, they make a new play. They're setting up a way to get them. Christopher is the name that comes into the hat, and they brought up his girlfriend, now fiance Adriana, and they called in Deborah to go undercover. What do y'all think about this play? Is this a good play from the feds right here?
Yeah, as we see.
Well, we know how it played, but I'm saying, like, in the intro
the
when we were watching,
play.
Yeah, when we were watching the show originally, well, things kind of changed, and I got a question about that. What?
He said, nah, he said it's the exact right play.
Well,
I'm laughing at the damn show it is.
Nah, it is. I mean, they got it off, but I mean, I guess it kind of, the variation of it changed. You know what I'm saying? The approach, not the necessarily the dealing, but the approach to it changed. So that's kind of more so what I'm questioning, because I just got so much questions about, like, do y'all know why they changed out the Deborah that's going to be the undercover?
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all know why they went away from that part of the story as far as them going after the Soprano family?
What do you mean?
Deborah was like a heavy player at one point, and then they just kind of went away from her being in close proximity, and they changed their game plan with dealing with other federal agents with aid and all of that once we get to that point. But like the Deborah storyline, it was really short lived.
Deborah's the chick that they sent to be Adriana's friend, right?
Yeah.
Why you say it was short lived?
What are you talking about?
It was, y'all don't remember this? It was really short lived. Like, they went away from that really quickly, dude. Like, it was like probably that episode, the moment they was in the club, and then that was it. Like,
I feel like I'm in an alternate universe right now.
Yeah,
but what are you talking about, bro? Like that's Adriana homegirl. They didn't go away from that.
Okay, y'all gonna see. Y'all see, because y'all.
Are you saying that they left it for a couple of episodes?
What I'm saying is they literally, like, once we kind of start to get into the character of her being undercover, it pretty much the cord is pulled. So they just did not, like, it did not last long. Like, I thought it was gonna be a thing where they're gonna set it all the way through, but they switched their approach and had the other federal woman agent.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
I think I know what you're talking about now. I know what you're talking about, because they did. There's a different way they went about it.
Yeah.
Versus using her directly.
Yes.
But she was around longer than what you was giving her credit. You making it sound like she was around for 3 episodes.
That's what it's about, bro.
They fell out, though.
I think it's about.
No,
but they fell out, though. They showed her and A falling out, and that's why the other lady had to come in.
Okay, well, I'll wait.
She figured she might even.
Yeah, because
she didn't. They didn't. She figured it out. She figured her out, and then the other lady came in and was like, "Shit, it's too late now."
I don't think
we already got
give away too much. We don't want to give away too much, but
yeah, but I don't.
We'll come back to this conversation.
Yeah. Okay, but nonetheless, that's the setup right here. They ask her. She does papers, and they pretty much ask her, "Hey, can you blow up your hair? Just to, go undercover or whatnot." Great play by the feds. I'm glad that it's very interesting. They started the season off with the feds versus the Soprano family, and it got away from it, obviously, with the passing of Livia and everything. So the storyline changed. But it's good that they come back to this. So it's really interesting here. Let's see, Jackie.
It's crazy how happy they were that, or how sad they were that Junior beat cancer. That was wild.
That was really wild, bro.
Like, damn, man, you done beat this shit.
The humanity.
It was salty, man. I'm like, damn, it's fucked up.
Right. We go back to the Boonton Hotel. Our man Omar, he's watching them play chess. Jackie's losing that chess to a 5th grader. Jackie knocks over the chess pieces, and Omar tells him that you ain't gonna never learn unless you play this out. What do y'all think he meant? But I mean, obviously he's talking about the game, but I feel like David Chase is inserting himself through the lines here. What are we supposed to gather from what that means? Like,
They continue to build on the foundation that Jackie is a little slow. Like
right.
they first tried to present Jackie as this wonder kid, but then we gradually get the information through people in the next couple of episodes and see him on screen. They're like, oh, no, we knew Jackie was kind of slow. We had to set it before all of this other stuff. So I feel what David Chase is trying to say here. And of course, Omar has no real context. We do as viewers, though.
Mm-hmm.
He's basically telling us Jackie's mistakes. It's like, man, you didn't play any of this stuff out. You didn't do it the correct way. And then when you couldn't win or do it the right way, you just disrupted everything. You got frustrated and disrupted everything. Chess is a game of patience and strategy. And Jackie had none of it in his life as far as applying it to what he wanted to do and being a gangster. He didn't have strategy. He didn't have patience. He didn't know what he was doing. Got frustrated. And now he's in the position that he's in, where he fucked the whole board up.
Okay.
That's Spike Cook, man. That's Spike Cook. What you got? I looked at it. He's like, what am I supposed to say after that?
All right. Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. I mean, on the other hand, though, we do got to give Jackie some credit. At least he can read. He not say big words like oblique. So, but Jackie
Spanish too, obviously.
He knows Spanish, you know. Rich, what's your Jay-Z line? I speak Spanish too. What is that on that Drake? Paris Morning.
Yeah, that's on that Pound Cake.
Yeah, Pound Cake.
Yeah. I ain't know I speak Spanish too.
Yeah.
Shout out to Real Wild West.
Yeah, that'd be fun if you use that oblique in there. That would
where we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
Appreciate you not leaving me hanging, Spike.
Yeah, put the mic out.
Gonna get it. Nah, you a Drake fan. You would have got it.
Yeah, I would have got that one though.
Just because of Drake.
Jackie decides it's safe to go outside. It's just cool. Hey,
I'm about to go to the store.
Yo, I'm about to go to the store. Hey, y'all need something?
Okay,
like, bro.
All right, buddy.
You are at a hideout, and you're about to go Uber Eats.
Like, my man acted like he went to the projects in a different state.
Bro,
like he was acting like he wasn't even in Jersey.
Dude. You think
not even in a different city in Jersey?
You up the street, bro. Like, what are we talking about?
Everybody knows where you at, bro.
Right.
This is by far it lines up, but it's so baffling to me because it like, and you're not even in a car. You think because you're in a black neighborhood. This is this is so racist even more. It's racist too. Just I'm in a black neighborhood. The Italians won't come out there. They won't find me out here. I'm with the blacks or whatever. But the Moolies. But Jackie gets to walk in, and it's easy like Sunday morning until it isn't. Big Vito comes through, hits him with the Big Vito. Hit him with the 007.
It's a joke. It was a joke.
It's a joke. What you doing? Big Vito
takes himself on the hit.
Yeah, Mr. Big Vito. Nah, but that's it.
Hey, Vito told them niggas it was a joke,
bro.
It's the medication. It's the medication I've been taking, bro.
Like, how far you go? That's dedication for a joke, bro. Like, that's a hard.
Shit.
Like,
hey.
That chaps for a joke is insane.
That is by far the fun. Like, that's why I enjoy that story. Some people, we'll get back on, but some people don't enjoy that storyline as much. But I really do, because I just find the excuses funny. Like, that by far is the funniest part of it for me. It's But anyways, but that's it with Vito. We are let me see, 15 minutes. I just say we're 15 minutes into the episode, and that's the end of it for Jackie.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, that's the only way it could have played out.
Yeah,
we all knew there was only one way out of this situation.
Mm-hmm.
To Spike's point or Mo's point, I forget which one of y'all said it earlier. Jackie just walking out casually. I think you might have said it, Mo, just walking out casually like everything's sweet. He needed a Snoop. Another cross reference. The Wire at the height of the Barksdale Stanfield Ward, some niggas
pull up on
Snoop pulled up out here. What the fuck y'all niggas doing on the corner? Don't you know there's a fucking war going on? Like, don't you know niggas looking for you, bro? Why are you showing your face?
Yeah.
The whole reason you stashed up is to let other people do that stuff for you. You know what I mean? So that, and do you think that Do you think that Jackie falling in the snow was parallel to the was it Edward Frost, Robert Frost? Remember Meadow when AJ was talking about the snow meaning death? You think that was a direct tie back to that?
Absolutely. What a pool.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was great.
That was this season too.
Yeah.
Yo,
I think that was the episode that Olivia died.
Prosha Lavushka.
Yeah.
Wow. Great pool. Yeah, that's very intentional. Has to be.
Has to be, right?
Yeah, he could have got shot in the grass, like, you know, it's street. Yeah. Like, nah, you nailed that.
My man Vito came out of nowhere too.
Bro,
big ass nigga like that.
How you miss Vito?
I can't hide. Where the fuck was you at,
bro? That again,
big ass tree, bro.
It's like, bro, exactly. Like that, he wasn't hiding. That's probably the point. It's like he probably does. He may have seen Vito before. If he's around Ralph, he probably seen Vito before. But like,
you know, a big Italian dude ain't supposed to be where you at
in the project.
Like you already know what time.
Right,
and they looking for you.
Yeah, Vito ain't light skinned. Newsflash. He's not a light skinned black dude. Like, if you thought he was just another drug dealer walking around booting.
Matter of fact, if you was gonna cast a stereotypical mob guy, you would probably look at somebody like Vito.
Like a Vito, yeah. Ro and Ralphie are on the phone, and she's talking about getting her car fixed. And Ralph is like, "Look, I know a guy. He can fix the car for you." And Vito walks in, and as soon as Vito walks in, he knew that's the blues right there. I mean, this is a great short scene. I don't know if there's something y'all want to add to that, but. Well, I guess the question I would ask to y'all is why did Ralph say I'm gonna be late? Like he didn't want to go there. Why did y'all?
He knew.
Okay.
He didn't want to face that. Like I know what happened. I don't know how you gonna get this news, when you gonna get it. I ain't trying to be there when you do. None of that shit. I got shit to do.
What was up with the toothpaste?
I took it as he was going to like his Gumars.
Okay.
Or somebody, you know what I mean? Just wanted to bring this for the morning and shit like that. That's what I took it as.
Got it.
Like I know wherever I go, I know I'm not going home. So.
So is it kind of like waiting for the blowback, kind of? Y'all think, or
yeah,
like
okay, yeah, exactly.
Because we see a lot of pump fakes on the phone call, so it finally goes through.
Which I think were very well done.
Very well done, yeah. Paulie and Chris, they set up the bets for the Super Bowl. Tony walks in, sees Chris. Chris is pretty much heading out. He ain't really embraced Tony. He walks out. At first, I forgot why Chris was mad, but now I remember why he was mad because of the whole Jackie thing. So is this Tony seems to be kind of angry throughout this episode. What is he angry about? Because obviously we're gonna get to the I'll just put it all out there and we'll just go in. But Tony gets pissed about the lo mein and kicks the fridge and he's mad. I've been waiting on this lo mein all week. Who's ate my lo mein? And Paulie just happened to get the wrong end of the stick, which probably doesn't add to Paulie's internal thoughts of what he's starting to feel.
All day, but a lo mein, a week old lo mein is crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Eat week old.
It's lo mein for a week is crazy.
That's insane.
Especially having the money Tony has. Ain't that something?
I think he said all day though, boy. He couldn't have said a week. I don't think he said a week. He said all day on the ride over there. He was waiting. Maybe it was
all the way over
here.
Yeah,
it's all day. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't think about that. Denzel
to answer your question, I think this is again the mastery of the Sopranos and how you get information by just paying attention to the show. This is a direct result of him not seeing Gloria anymore. This is a direct result of that. Being wound so tight, like not having that release anymore. The break away from what he usually does and having to be Tony Soprano, like he said with her, she just took herself to Morocco. She's an independent woman. Like that was a break for Tony away from all of this shit. Now he doesn't have that break anymore. Now he's wound tight. Carmela notices, the guys notice, he's flipping out. I think that's exactly what that is. And if we just pay attention from the comparison of the previous episodes and how jolly he is, it's because she's around.
Wow. I forgot all about that. I forgot all about that.
It's a great pool. Night and day. Night and day is Tony's move.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a better father. I'm a better husband for it. You know what I mean? Like you said.
Exactly.
But interesting tidbit here. Paulie snaps about Ralph owning the money and goes off about it. and how he's bad for business, and he wants to sit down, and Tony allows it, and he's going off about it. Like, he didn't pay my 50 G's, like, bro. But that now Paulie's starting to speak up his frustrations. I feel like this all began through Pine Barrens, where he's like, no, I'm done taking it easy. And I feel like from that point on, Paulie has been having these snap moments with Tony, and they're kind of being put back in place, but he's having the moments like, bro, I'm not being quiet, because Ralph is getting a lot of grace. Like, he's getting a lot of grace. We'll see in a later sit down. He get a lot of grace. So I think Paulie's getting to that point, like, hey, look, like, I've been holding it down, bro. Like,
you know what? The cost of grace.
What?
300,000 in your trunk.
I was just definitely
That's
going to side with the person. Yeah, I'm siding with the person who making my pockets fatter. They know that too.
Yeah,
but I don't think he don't know the Ralph just hit him off with the 300.
I also think that I think Paulie, I think he'd be pissed either way, but it holds a little bit more weight when you have plans for the money.
Yeah,
everybody knows what it feels like when I had plans. I forgot they was gonna take that out of my account, this, that, and the third. I had plans for that money. Now I gotta scramble and figure some shit out. I told Miles I was moving her in here. I done took it here and everything. Like, it's different. And that's another thing too. It's different when you show her the pamphlets. I done walked you in here now. I done showed you your room. Like, I gotta make sure I deliver on this shit. So I'm really pressed about this 50,000 because, like he said, I got long-term planning. This affects my long-term planning, man. Like, this is bullshit, and I already feel a bit of a way about you.
Yeah, you're right. Tony gets a phone call. They pump fake us here. We think, it's gonna be the Jackie Jr. call, but instead it's the other fortunate son, AJ. And they transition over to the Sopranos house. AJ has gotten expelled. Tony goes off about, I got this house, I bought the scooters, a house with 6,000 square feet is crazy. Let's be like, golly, Tony. I didn't know I knew they was living nice, but goodness, I'm thinking, maybe 3,000, 4,000, 6,000 square feet is nuts. Like, I've looked at homes. That's a lot of house.
That's a nice New Jersey home. That's not here.
Yeah, that's really especially in Jersey, East Coast.
Big mansions is what they call
big mansions. And so he's going off.
Yeah. The houses, all the houses in that neighborhood nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I would like to see the Cusimano house. But Tony goes off about, man, I work hard all day. I provide this, I do this, I do that, I do this, I do that. And for what? So this can happen. And AJ says, sucks to be you. And Tony slaps the piss out of him.
He deserved every last finger of that slap too, nigga.
Bro.
I couldn't imagine that. I'm glad I'm not a parent, because that smart ass remark, boy, she would have had to pull me off.
No, it would have been once.
It wouldn't even been no just smack. She would have had to pull me out. Sucks to be you. Oh, okay, I'm finna show you. Because you clearly playing in my face, bro. You clearly playing in my face.
Bro.
Hey man, he slapped the dog shit out of him.
Bro.
And he doubled down on it. There's more where that came from. There's a new regime around here.
But what's more than a surprise?
Shit up around his motherfucker.
Yeah, it's a new regime. You know what's even crazier though? AJ took it like a G.
AJ did take it.
He took, bro. Nah, he took it. Wasn't a tear, wasn't a nothing, bro. He took that like a G, bro. That's respect.
He gonna cry later. That's that shot.
Oh, that's that wait. Let it wait till you get to the room.
Yeah.
Nah, he definitely would have cried. He cried in the car.
He cried in
the car.
Yeah.
At least a glory tear came down, bro. He slapped the shit out of him. And told you, say some shit again, I'll slap you again, nigga.
I got a video.
I gave Jackie his hands. You don't want to catch his hands.
Yeah, yo, okay. I'm putting a video out. I put a pause on it. It was at this moment he realized
you fucked up.
Yeah.
No, you fucked up, right?
Boy. But man, yeah, he definitely like.
My favorite part about that scene was when. My fault, man. My favorite part about this scene is when Carmela said something about the school. Oh, come on, will ya?
Yeah.
The look James Gandolfini made, man. Like, he's fed up.
My man got school brochures from Janice.
He should have never revealed the source. Like,
source should have never been
you know how
revealed,
you in an
right?
argument and you say a part of it that don't fit, then you realize
it don't make sense.
in the
make
moment.
You worse.
Yeah, he's like, I should have said that part, but you so high strung. You should never say Janice. I mean, where's Harpo? Like,
Even before she said Janice, man, the shade that Carmella get, he said, I got brochures. You have school brochures?
Right.
Like, where the fuck did you get them from?
Exactly. Like, when has that
I
ever
know
been
you
on
ain't
your
looking
mind?
at schools.
Exactly. Oh, I like,
and we
but I
get the
did.
double down. Okay, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, and I like that in that rant he brought up the Columbia thing. Like he was like, yeah, and we ain't forgot. Like,
50
yeah,
grand. I just spent 50 grand on this bullshit. All y'all stressing me out.
Yeah, get it together. I know he's saying, calm, get it together, low key. You don't want to say that. Like,
get this house in order. What the fuck going on?
That part, like low key, like that's what he's saying. It ain't right. Don't get me
pay
wrong.
You for?
But bro,
he said, "What I pay you for? Come on,
what I pay you for is crazy."
Hey boy,
people that are listening,
he would have broke her if he had said that, man. He would have broke her.
Yeah, he definitely would. Right. For those that are listening, please understand that we only operate these are jokes within the world of how these men are misogynistic and all those things. We do not agree with these things, but we find funniness out of it. So please, if this is not the show for you, there's plenty of other Soprano shows. But if it is, stay rocking with us. Let's get it.
I like the double down too on what we just talked about with Gloria. Everybody's asking him like, "What, bro? What's wrong with you? It was just a couple weeks ago. You was all in the clouds." So I like how they again are giving us that information without really saying it.
I'm glad you brought that Gloria. I didn't even the way we kind of move past Gloria. I just forget like every time. It's like they come in hot and they go out cool, kind of like with that whole relationship. So, but like Tony was like, we'll get to more of the argument and stuff of that further in because I want to speak a little bit more to that. But it's the Sopranos dinner. Tony sees the ad for HMI Hudson Military Institute, and AJ says, "I didn't say I was going." Like, I'm like, bro, something wrong with this kid. They get the call that Jackie was killed by a drug dealer, and Tony sits back down and he says, "You see, anything y'all get from this little dinner scene other than the phone call?"
Other than how slow AJ is, like you said, I didn't say I was like what. I don't understand what ain't registering for him. Like you just got the shit smacked out of you, and you still got these little smart attitude remarks. Like, bro, what's up? Like, do you want to square up? Like, if I was Tony, that's what I would have been like, bro, what's up?
Yeah, yep. Put on the gloves, bro. Like, let's just go ahead and. That's always my issue with. Are we supposed to believe that this is how Tony was? Like, he had that like chip on his shoulder, and he don't respect authority or really anybody. He is in his own world, because I feel like they're trying to tell us something through AJ's storyline, but I just find a hard connection there. I think that's in some ways they're trying to show us that because AJ is tougher than most people would probably say he is. Now, sure, like, oh, well, he cried about this, he cried, yeah, but that's all Tony. Tony's tough, but yet Tony will cry, and get real emotional about stuff. So I think they're trying to paint a story through AJ of being how Tony was in some regard, but it's very hard to receive it because I'm not saying it's not presented well. It's just there's not enough context or explanation with AJ, and it's just always unfortunate for me. So I don't know.
And now I have time. I want to cut in for a quick ad, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, my God.
This is off the top of the head, but are you tired of defending the most hated TV characters? Are you tired of going to groups and finding new ways to cape for them?
Yes.
And to make sure you explain to everyone why they should get a little bit more credit than what they're actually getting? Well, come to Mo's Bail's Bonds. Well, he will gladly do this for a 20% fee and bail out the ones you hate. You a fan of Joffrey Baratheon? Go ahead and call Mo's Bail's Bonds. He'll tell you exactly why he should have been king. Are you a fan of Jimmy McNulty?
I was going to say that.
Go ahead to Mo Bail Bonds. He'll explain why the serial killer premise was all necessary for the good of the show. Mo's Bail's Bonds giving 20% discounts from now until the end of season 4. Once again, Mo's Bail's Bonds.
Great job. The reaction was just as good as he had. Like,
bro,
both of those were gold.
You just came up with that you just did?
I literally just did that on the spot because I can't believe how many times you're going to try to catch back. You've been trying to push this Tony AJ angle since we started.
To make us understand AJ when there is no understanding AJ.
No, because I just
trying to push that. That's narrative is that.
I don't, and again, like y'all, I'm with the crowd that hates AJ. I'm not an AJ fan. There's nothing about him that makes me like him. I'm just, this show
You have a special sympathy for AJ.
No, later down the road I do, but I think more so than anything, I just think Sopranos is one of the shows that got it right the first time, and not only got it right, but really set a precedent for future shows. It's hard. I find it very hard to believe that this was like we just put that there. I don't know. It's like, because look, I could have just had a daughter and left it at that. You know what I'm saying? Like, could have had, we had one child or two daughters.
I'll give you that. That's fair. AJ's there for a reason. I mean,
yeah.
The show's not the same without AJ.
Yeah.
Especially later.
Especially everybody wants to see that dynamic of, not being like your dad, or have a certain, that lifestyle of I'm this way, or if I'm a ball player, Michael Jordan's kids. I expect y'all to be great at hoop too. And y'all just, average. It kind of is what it is, how you navigate that. Yeah. So I get it. But AJ's he's so far on the other end of the spectrum of just being unlikable.
Yeah.
I just can't find it.
Yeah.
When Tony gets the news, there is a look of almost disbelief. Like, I can't believe he did it. Did y'all peep that too? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Like, do you think Tony was almost looking for, like, he's gonna chicken out and I'm gonna come through and I'm gonna say this is why you shouldn't be captain type deal? Or what was?
I don't even think it was a captain play. I think it was what you two mentioned earlier, just the connection to the kid and his dad. Like, neither one of them really had the I know I got to do this and was comfortable with it. But I don't think he thought Ralphie was going to go through it, which is why he left the decision up to him.
Wow. Because I guess because push come to shove, Ralphie could just nothing can happen, and Ralphie can just look disrespected or unrespected amongst the men, and I can let them talk bad about him and let him,
Well, exactly, but there still be no real repercussions because I'm making the most money.
Yeah,
I'm bringing $300,000 bags. Like, if Jackie don't get killed, like, other than the people talking behind my back, what's really gonna happen?
That's true. What a position to be in. AJ calls Meadow and basically tells him that Jackie was like killed by some black guys.
DNA. Don't skip over the DNA though.
What
her
DNA?
Telling him how dumb he was.
Oh,
that's a key moment.
And then he just like, oh man, like
she was like fucking idiot.
that tracks though. That tracks. He's not that smart, and you can definitely see like, oh, why didn't I think of that? Like, but yeah, he pretty much just reveals the news to her that Jackie was like killed. Like, saying like before killed is crazy. Like there's some other.
I hated the scene and the way he did that. He just did it so nonchalantly, like just he did.
That's it. Something just
like,
don't.
Damn, bro. Like,
something don't register, bro. Gosh, like he could be Jackie Jr. if he wasn't Tony's son, bro.
There was no anxious, like, even when he gets on the phone, like, hey, I got to tell you something. Like, that's not how you respond when somebody like, yo, this dude was just in the backyard with you showing you football shit. You would think there's a little bit more emotional connection. True. You dated my sister, bro. You
he came over for Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? All of that. So you would think there's a little bit more. He's definitely disconnected.
Man, I really wish there was a diagnosis for AJ. To me, that would clear everything up.
Somebody got one on the internet, I'm sure.
Okay, we're gonna definitely
look it up while y'all talk.
Okay, because that a diagnosis would make everything so much smoother for me. But we get to a session with Tony and Melfi, and Tony talks about what he wants for his kids, which is to have the opportunity to get as far away from him as possible. And I thought this was genuine and loving of him, even though it's hypocritical. But I thought that was a very interesting thing. Meadow once talked about being a pediatrician and things of that nature, and his son, no way he could be cut out for this business. What did y'all think about this scene? It was short, but it was an effective scene.
I enjoyed it. I like the fact because we really don't talk about Tony's kids in these therapy sessions. And that was something I don't think he really ponders for. And I think that's an interesting aspect, and this is coming from a non-parent, but the idea of watching your child grow and kind of form into their own person. Mm-hmm. Like, they're going to be who they are. Yes, I'm here to raise them and teach them morals and values and steer them in the right direction, but they little quirks and stuff that they into, that's all them. Like, so I wonder what kind of personality. They're going to be quiet, they're going to be outgoing, what they pick up from me, all of that. So that's always just an interesting thing that I don't even know if Tony really sits down and think about that, especially with Meadow, because she's so established. But he knows she's going to be okay. Like there was no sense of doubt. I want her she's going to be successful, and I want her to get away from me from this life. I don't want her caught up in none of it. On the other hand, my son will never last in this. This business, my business, nah, that ain't for him. Like he has no idea what AJ is going to do for a living. Like, I don't know where his life direction's headed, and I'm kind of getting nervous because he's 15 years old, and I can't even call it. I can't even lay down some options of what he might be good at.
Dang. Yeah.
AJ has the diagnosis for AJ Soprano is major depressive disorder. Depressed mood most of the day, nearly every day, markedly diminished interest or pleasure at all, significant weight loss or not dieting or weight gain, insomnia or hypersomnia nearly every day, fatigue or loss of energy nearly every day, feeling of worthlessness or excessive inappropriate guilt, which we see with him, diminished ability to think, concentrate, or indecisiveness nearly every day, reoccurring thoughts of death.
Can you I don't know, some screenshot that, bookmark that, keep that somewhere, because I want to
text it to you now.
I probably don't. You don't want to put it in the text.
That's a link. You just take the link. It's
Oh,
2023,
okay.
bro.
All right. I mean, I know that, but I'm just trying to keep it like wherever you put your notes, just place it somewhere.
Hey, Mo, send him your address so he can mail the floppy disk.
You want me to type it?
Funny guy over here, Dave Chappelle over here.
Nah, man.
Send the floppy.
I'm Arnez. I'm Arnez.
Oh, you are now? Oh, he doubling down now.
All right. Yeah,
Arnez J.
That's how funny I am.
Technology has advanced so much more. I could just text from my computer here and send it to you
Really?
right now. Absolutely.
That's crazy. He said, I'm Arnez. He doubled down on it. All right. That's funny. But anything else you want to add to that, or that's pretty much all that you would say as far as the Melfi scene, Spike?
Yeah, I think Rich nailed it.
Okay.
That's exactly right.
We get to Carmela wakes Meadow up about and they talk about Jackie, and Meadow is on it again. I don't know what that is.
What happened?
Sorry, the volume came through on this for some reason. Sorry.
No, you all good. It ain't come through. It sound good on
Oh, okay,
yeah,
cool. Man, bounced me all the way back. All right. But yeah, Carmela wakes Meadow up. What is this? I'm hearing something. Hold on. I don't know why it's doing that. Y'all can't hear it on y'all end, but I'm hearing every time it plays, it keeps bringing the sound through. Okay, let's see what happens. All right. Again.
Technology kicking your ass. Bro.
Yeah, I told you we need to stick to the floppy disk, man. But yeah, right. But Meadow is on it here again. She's stating that she believes it was something else, but Carmela tells her not to get cute. And this is like the first person she said she knew her age that died, and that's a huge deal, bro. Like I remember, like when you find out somebody like in high school when a basketball player, a girl, she was on a girls basketball team and she had died, and that was like we had an assembly and everything. That was like huge. Just like what? She just didn't wake up the next day, and that just threw us. I could not. It just threw me, bro. Like, so when she said that, that really resonated for me. Like a person your age, especially her, literally.
Yeah.
You know, you did X together and you hung out. You've had sex. Y'all been boyfriend, girlfriend, holidays, just spent time together, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? And now he's gone. So that resonated.
Yeah, I think that's
for
a
me.
good point. I similar. Like I remember the first time that like we were in high school as well. These niggas tried to rob the pizza man and shot himself in the foot and didn't go to the hospital and died.
What?
I vividly remember that because he was our age. He was from the neighborhood. His mom drove the bus to school for us. But yeah, like you said, it registers different. We're like, damn, I think same age me. Died.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Absolutely. Same. I've had the same experience.
Mm-mm-mm.
I think this whole scene was a good it gave you multiple angles to look at.
Okay.
Even how people grieve or how people react to different things. You know, Meadows, she's in the bed, she's depressed, she's sulking. She's looking at Carmelo like, how can you even be thinking about schools? Jackie just died. And Carmelo like, look, man, I've been with bro all night. I made funeral arrangements. Just because I'm not showing it the same way as you doesn't mean that I'm not going through it as well, or this isn't impacting me. But I also know that I'm an adult and life has to go on. Like, you still have to take care of the other things, even though this shit happens. Meadows, this is her first time experience that, and that comes into a play when you talk about the way they're looking at this and the way their stances on what happened to Jackie Jr. You know, Carmela has been engulfed in the life for so long that she's not going to let her brain take her to a place where there wasn't a boogeyman with an Italian name that took out Jackie Jr. Even though she knows at one point she probably could have been, even though Meadow is more Tony. She knows what's going on. There was a time when Carmela was younger, before kids, where you hear news on the street of what happened, you know what's true and what's not. She's just distanced herself from that. So it's interesting to see them go head to head when they're both kind of right from where they sit. So I love this scene.
Yeah. She put two and two together.
Carmela, I'll come to it now, what we were talking about earlier. Carmela sold me on this. I'm not sure that she was aware of really what happened. I think that there's a different gossip amongst the wives than there is on the streets, than there is with the kids, as we've seen. Like, the men probably have the real story. Or if not, if what you said, Rich, Carmela did a hell of a job of selling it as if she really did believe that way. Because I know each time I watch this, I'm kind of like, did she know like what happened with the card game? Because obviously people know. We know Seal knows. We know other people in the community know. But I'm not sure if those type of conversation reached the wives. Like, where would they have heard the conversation from?
That's fair.
I don't think they heard it.
I don't think they heard that. I just think that there's a story of what happened, and then there's a story of what the streets want to know. Yeah, what you tell everybody. The only people in the room know what really happened, but all right, here's y'all story. This is what's going on. And I think they get that, but they also know, I don't add up. You know, anybody can hear bullshit. Like, what? He was doing what? X? Ecstasy? He got shot in the projects over X? Like, all right, if you telling me that, cool. But
yeah.
Something sound right. Yeah, something
don't sound right. So I think there's a little bit of that, but they choose not to take that route. They choose not to look at it that way, because why? What's that going to do for me? I'm going to question Tony about what happened to Jackie Jr. for real.
Yeah.
To hear him lie to me.
Yeah, and she's so used to living a lie. She just need a lie to live on. That her whole relationship is built on that. She just need to live on that. Okay, just get, y'all ever hear that like in a joke, like where they be like, women just don't be like coming up with any kind of lie. You just make sure it got to make sense to them. Like, I'm not saying this is all women, but this is just theoretically, like, right? Saying like, hey, start, because remember Tony sowed the seed before, like, yeah, I don't know, he's no good, plus he's selling drugs, so he put that out there before, and then like now it kind of became what it became. So it's like, okay, even if it's not true, it's good enough for me to live off of, and I'm not going to ask any more questions. And plus, it ain't AJ, it's not my son. It don't really resonate for her until the funeral. Then it's like,
think about it, man. It makes you less sympathetic. Think about what they do to us in the news. Somebody gets shot, black man gets shot by police. Here's your criminal record. Here's what he did. Here's how many baby mamas he got. Here's how much he owed in child support. Anything I can do to put on your name to diminish the value of you. So when something does bad happen, everybody's like, well, did he deserve it? The whole conversation changes.
Yep.
So, everybody, that's one of the first things Carmela thought of. Like, oh, well, he was dealing drugs. Like, you know what I mean? Versus all the good times that she's seen Jackie Jr. grow up from a baby. There was earlier in the season they talked about, you remember what we said when Meadow was born. They've known each other's kids that long. And the first thing you thought of is, fuck them other 22 years. Oh, he went out bad, man. He was selling drugs. Who knows what happened? Blah, blah, blah. That's all Tony was doing. Like, regardless of what happened to this dude, I just want you to know he ain't shit. So if something bad happened, don't feel bad. Don't cry for this motherfucker. I try to help.
All that detail. You really, I always think about that line. You have a funny way of summarizing a whole man's life in one sentence. That McKenzie line every time, bro. That was really good, Rich. we get to the military school, and we now have the guy. I don't even remember his name from Saul, but
Tobin Bell.
Tobin Bell, of course, the
Yeah,
movie guy.
Jigsaw.
He got that Jigsaw. There we go. And he's
Oh, damn, that is Jigsaw.
yeah,
Never knew
he's
that.
a flag saluting mother, and he tells he tells him about the core, and he's going through this whole thing of a schedule of 0500 hours and this, and he's going through a whole day of it. And AJ's question is, what is 0500? And that's 5 o'clock in the morning. They kind of go through this whole thing. Really interesting. Carmela's not on board with this. She did like some of the structure parts of it. Tony asks a brilliant question here. Y'all teach this whole Army of One, which is the name of the episode. Said, what happens when all of everybody's operating in the Army of One and wants to blow the lieutenant's head off? I think this is a crazy foreshadowing. I know it's a deep pull here, but I think it's a crazy foreshadowing of season 6, where it starts to become a lot of little armies of one, where everybody's in it for themselves. But that's a little bit of a, I can't get into specifics like that. But what did y'all think about this scene?
Much to do about nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I never in one instance thought that this was going to happen. I know how they were going to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And we see at the end of the episode, but this was, in my opinion, a wasted scene, even in first watch, not just watching it as someone who's seen The Sopranos several times through. Like, the whole time I'm looking at this like this bullshit. They're not gonna send him here. And like AJ was looking at it like, y'all not serious about this. He thought probably for a moment that they were when he had the uniform on, but I never believed that this would happen.
I agree with that. You look at it, you look at the way that the other kid looks at AJ when he goes out. No, AJ ain't about to make it here. But we're not about to keep going back and forth to this military school and checking on AJ. But even beyond that, like, he's just not built for it. You can just tell. The questions he's asking, like, he's not there. And I guess that has a lot to do with what we just learned about him, as far as what he's, described as, or what's the actual diagnosed with. But the biggest thing with Tony is, I think any leader has that. I mean, that's a Tony trait. Anytime you can try to pull some kind of game, whether it's from Melfi, whether it's from an institution such as the military, like these old traditions that have these values and cores, like, how would you handle this situation? Like, he's just always trying to get better, find a way to see what happens, just in case I need to know things out. He's playing chess. He is an army of one. A boss in itself is an army of one.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Everything falls on your shoulders. If not, unless you distance yourself, like Tony's been, doing a good job of.
Okay. Well, Tony and Carm later that night, they begin to fuss. And these are probably my favorite scenes between Carmela and Tony, because there's a pulse in their relationship. I feel like there's a authenticity because they're passionate and they're talking, they're communicating. So she's arguing about she don't like the military whole thing, the discipline that basically turned them into like robots, just this whole idea. And he's like, the military hardly go to war anymore, and it's supposed to be symbolic. And she's like, symbolic of what? Respect. And so they're going back and forth. I mean, both of them making really good points. And she's like, I'm not going to have my son go to military school. And he was like, we already tried it your way for 15 years. We're going to try it my way. And it's very interesting. And she grabs a pillow and gets ready, goes out. Nah, let me do you a favor. He snatches
that.
Yeah. Right. I got to get the last word off. Yeah, go ahead.
From the last scene, did y'all look up that name, Audie Murphy? That guy that they mentioned.
I'm into
decorated. He's the most decorated Army veteran, it says, with a confirmed 250 kills. So that's why, right. So that it was in World War II. So that's why Carmelo was saying, well, is that what we were preparing him for? To be like essentially a serial killer or a murderer?
God, 250 kills is
that's some kill
250 confirmed kills.
You can't have respect for life at all.
That's confirmed. That's confirmed. Yeah. How many unconfirmed?
That's confirmed, and that ain't even mentioning any other shit.
Right. They got the unofficial joints out of bounds. But what do y'all think about this argument between them two? I mean, it's like I said, it's one of my favorite things about them. Unfortunately.
It shows me how hard it is to raise kids.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like honestly, like I said it earlier, I'm not a parent, but that's not something you can't shrug your shoulders at and say fuck it.
Yep.
Like we really have to. We're responsible to make sure this kid is a good citizen.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have to figure something out. Like this is really, and this is bringing a divide to our relationship. Because AJ can't figure this shit out, and I don't have the answers for him. I don't know if that was season 1 or season 2 when he was in the car and they went to Pussy's Body Shop.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, talk to your
season
uncle. Like,
1.
I don't talk to your nephew. I don't know what to do with
Yeah.
him. I don't know what to do with him anymore. And that's just that's been the nature of their relationship. So, just typical. I mean, I think that's marriage shit, man. They're both very passionate about what they feel. They both have great points. They know something has to change, but it ain't got to be like this.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the compromise when you get into those type of situations?
Y'all think AJ killed that hamster or whatever we was talking about?
It was
Where the Kuzma
put the nails in it.
The odds are leaning towards him.
Yeah.
I think he did do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. We get to Jackie's funeral. Paulie wants to sit down. Bad timing with Tony. But I mean, obviously, Paulie's like, bro, I'm still waiting on my 50 grand, bro. Like,
How to choke Paulie, bro. Like, bro,
Right.
get the fuck out of here.
right.
At the
My man was sitting
bro,
down
like,
at the
what
door
you
waiting
doing,
for him
bro?
like a dog.
Mm-hmm.
That's how your dog wait for you to come home, man.
That's true. I mean, but people do this all the time. Like people do talk business at funerals. Like even though I get the close connection,
Not through the door. That's different, Mo. My family ain't even all the way in yet. You walking up to me about this mid sit down, bro. Like it's not even the fact that you brought it up to the funeral, which I still think is in poor taste.
Mm-hmm.
I just came through the door. I ain't even got my coat off yet, my nigga. Like about that meeting, I ain't hear. You ain't say sorry. You ain't say I know how you feeling, Tony. You ain't do none of that shit. Like calm the fuck down, Paulie.
It reminds me of something else I can't remember. Like where somebody just kept being like, "Hey, man," like I can't remember. But yeah, Meadow. We get introduced to, I guess Jackie Jr. has a sister. I'll speak a little more about her in a later scene. But Meadow sees Jackie and breaks down. This is 2 days before the Super Bowl, and there's hardly anyone there because I definitely got some questions about the timeline. Find out Jackie played for a football team called the Bombers, and boy, did he bomb. And Janice brings.
You write that one down, Mo?
Yeah, I wrote that
great.
Okay.
I can't be good as you. I can't come off the top with what I'm saying.
Oh, man.
I'm trying. I got to learn from the greats.
Oh,
and then Janice brings a Christian demo to the funeral home director.
Man, that was a wild scene.
Bro.
Bro, she said she was working with the head of Sony. You hear the name she dropped?
Mm-hmm.
You know who that is?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Janice out of her mind.
She definitely.
He doesn't know you exist. He don't even what?
Kristen, what?
Oh man. But that good acting, Meadow, Jamie, was it Jamie Sigler?
Yeah, Jamie Lynn Sigler.
Jamie Lynn Sigler. Great job right here. And then especially when we get to the funeral scene, like great job. Really like pouring it on, looking like as soon as I see his body. That's very realistic, bro.
It's funny you said that, Mo, because I had that specifically when I watched it again. I was like, man, that's really hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when that person.
What you said.
Just how to act on scene, to cry on scene, to really get into that bag of this is somebody I love that I'm seeing for the first time, and mixed in with that whole first time somebody my age died. Her reaction to that was really spot on from an acting perspective.
Mm-hmm. But of course, Rose said you would think I've been married for Jack for years. I would know how it goes, but it is what it is. I really feel bad for Ro, but I'll get there a little later. Chris, he tells Tony
I'm sorry. Do you think the turnout was low because of the Super Bowl, or do you think the turnout was low because everybody knew what Jackie was on? And they was like, man, fuck.
I was
this.
thinking the
same thing. Chris. Yeah,
it's because everybody knew what he was on.
Mm-hmm.
But according to all of the civilians here, the wives, the kids, it's because of the Super Bowl, because that's all they know. They don't know any inner workings of it.
Like I said, that's that other story. There's a story there's the real story, and the story they put out on the streets.
Mm-hmm. like Marlo. But yeah, Chris tries to tell Tony, like, basically, I appreciate what you did. I understand now why you didn't want me to whack him that night if I found him, and I appreciate it. And when I said I didn't love you, it's not that way. And Tony's like, oh yeah, and then he just walks off. Anything else y'all want to add to this funeral scene?
Oh, he pretty much nailed it.
That's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Janice is nuts.
Tommy Mottola is crazy.
Tommy
bro.
Mottola was crazy.
You supposed to name somebody. You supposed
supposed
to name a D girl.
Man,
You supposed to name a D girl or something, man. Not Tommy. You ain't supposed to
definitely
name drop
not.
Tommy Mottola. I don't take you serious because if you name dropping Tommy Mottola, then you ain't handing your demo to me
At a
the
funeral.
home.
exactly.
And then you got to remember, this is the same director, bro, from the beginning of the season when they were getting a funeral ready for Olivia. It's the same guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who are you talking to? Like, I know you don't have money. I know you're not in, like, that's crazy. Giving a Christian CD to a funeral director. Sorry.
Now, what you want me to do with this?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Janice is
Like, it's
insane.
crazy. Like, that's going to get me.
She wanted him to put that on at the funeral because she said, I wish I'd had it.
This.
Put my disc in at the funeral is crazy. Hey, man, listen to my tape real quick. Bro,
Yeah.
Hey, man,
I wish there was like some snippet of Janice. Like, I wish we could have got it somewhere just to laugh at.
her
But
switching the music out.
yeah, like somewhere we could find like, oh, these were the recorded things they never brought to the light though. But yeah, we get a small scene. Carmela snuggles with Tony after she sees Jackie when she gets a close up, and she says, "Okay, let's try it your way." We immediately go to the sit down. We see Silvio, Tony sitting. I don't know what this spot is, but this spot always looked fly to me. This is one of my favorite, like, little sit down areas for whatever reason. I love when they switch locations in the show. But you know, Ralph is late, and Paulie is going on and on about Green Grove, and he's trying to brag about putting her there, and he thinks Tony is calling him a broke boy. But Paulie is really starting to get out of pocket right here. Like, it's
well,
really
even on the walk up, he's pissed that Ralphie wasn't there already.
yeah, because you keep giving he don't operate in their code, bro.
This nigga tried to be late, and Ralph still won.
Yo, Paulie got a lot of good points,
Tony
bro.
knew.
I'm sorry.
Hey, man, Ralphie knew, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Ralphie knew. Like, I'm about to, man, he was doing all types of bullshit.
Mm-hmm. You can really this part you can really start to see a through line from Pine Barrens, like the frustration Paulie's starting to have. It's really coming through. But Paulie got some good points here, man. Like, there's these moments of this, but Ralph says tomorrow I could be late, but you'll be stupid forever. Like, you talking to another captain like this is crazy. Like, who are you coming in and talk, man?
I'm bringing in all this money, like he's feeling he untouchable.
Yeah, bro, I'm earning with 3 hands. Like,
he went Yamba right now, whatever. When Yamba, I'm the #1 draft pick right now, man. I got the most value. Ain't nobody trade me for nothing. I'm bringing in everybody's bread. Everybody want me on their team.
All right, so let's get to it. Now we can have that conversation.
Hey, man. Paul, he said, you see a CNI dog over here, cup full of pistols.
Because he tried to play him like he broke,
like he ain't have it.
Yeah, man,
that's like a legitimate question for Tony. Like, Tony was like, "Nigga, that wasn't an easy, that wasn't a cakewalk for me. I know you ain't getting that. You shouldn't be getting that much money because I ain't getting the kick up from it." So Tony was looking like, bro.
Man, I didn't refer you to that. I didn't say that was the definition of like having money because my mom was there, you know. But it's funny because it's like Paulie's not going to move further up in this chain. So you do these things to kind of make you feel like you're making progress still in this thing of theirs. So by putting my mom in Green Grove, I'm moving up. I'm one-upping Ralph. I'm one-upping whoever, like to feel like I'm a little bit more, even though I'm the old school in a bunch. So it's just a very interesting thing.
You can move up. See, that's their business is one of those eat what you kill. That's why Ralphie's got so much clout right now because I'm bringing in so much money. Paulie just had to find that right racket that's going to bring in the same thing and give him that same type of praise. Like, so that's what everybody's shooting for. That's what makes your organization go better. Because if Ralphie's bringing in 300, now everybody else is looking. I bet all the other captains, I gotta hustle. I gotta find a way. I can't just be cool bringing in my 100 or whatever it is when he bringing in this type of bread.
Is Ralph the highest earner on the show?
From what they've at least painted that picture to make it clear that that's the case. And I'm talking about even it doesn't even seem like Pussy. Nobody else is really earning like Ralph. Like Ralph got to.
Yeah, the only other person they brought up in that vein was Vito. That's it.
Yeah.
Like when you hear that title, there's not really many people that get the good earner title in this show. So when they say good earner, they're like exceptional as far as bringing the bag in. So I'm just curious to that. Even
if anybody's
Silvio,
ever worked sales out there, if anybody's ever worked a sales job or any kind of job where they track numbers and metrics, there always seems to be one person that month after month they just you don't know what you ain't doing nothing different, and sometimes you don't even care enough. I'm not even about to hustle. I'm not even about to put in enough effort to reach that because that's not something I'm gonna be able to do every month. I don't know how they do it, but shout out to them for their scheme. Like it works like that. Some people just got certain maneuvers.
Very well said.
Okay,
Very
so
well said.
Now let's get into the breakdown here. So he says he owes me 50 G's. I'm trying to make sure I get it quote for quote. And he says it's an alarm code. You got the alarm code and you want 50 G's, which would be half of what they earn, which was 100 G's, right? And so Ralph says you get 5 tops as a finder's fee. So he's definitely out of pocket here because it's more than a finder's fee because of the code. Like which Ralph played this smart because if he had handled it then when he had Vito do the fake call, he may have ended up paying him more than having to sit down. So it was really smart to like string him along here. I didn't catch that at first, but now I'm looking at it now. I'm like, okay. So he says the heist fell in your lap. Paulie says that. And you spent days with those fat pigs on the outer office of the carpenter union, $3 million for construction, yada, 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 whatever. So they end up agreeing to 12,000, which is what, 12%. What do y'all think? What you think Paulie should have earned, or is that a fair number, y'all think?
So it's a tricky situation, right? Because from what I'm understanding, this took place at a check cashing place near one of Ralphie's no-show jobs, or whatever the case is. So it's kind of like it's in your territory. You a little bit more connected that side of town. I'm gonna give you the info. Here's the play. And originally, little Paulie's supposed to be there with you too. That's my representation. That's an extension of me being there to get my bigger piece of the pie. Ralphie knew that. You know, if I know I'm about to have a play, $100,000, however much it is, I'm going to eliminate as many mouths as I have to feed. So, little Paulie, you out of here. Yeah, I'll kick you something for this finder's fee, as he mentioned it, but you didn't do no work. You told me about this shit. The biggest thing is Paulie should have, obviously there's no kind of agreement. I couldn't imagine Ralphie agreeing to paying him 50 grand. For some reason, I think that's a number Paulie just had stuck in his head, like you owe me half. Which doesn't make sense logistically. Like I'm giving you half of our profit for one person, which is you, and you'll kick up to Tony, and I'm supposed to split the rest among however many other people were involved. Like that doesn't make any sense, Paulie. Like you know I wouldn't agree to that. So that's the thing that's weird. Now, if you want to give him 20%, 15% maybe, that's cool. But you weren't even there, bruh. Now Paulie has an argument. This play wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for me. You wouldn't have had shit if I didn't give you them codes. But I don't think it's 50 G's, man. Like Paulie's not at that level. That's a Tony move. Tony can get 50 G's for a play like that. It's about that respect too. It's respect and title.
That's what you feel the same by 15, 20%?
Yeah, I feel like that's a fair number.
Okay.
I think that Paulie he wasn't, they call it negotiating in good faith. That means you're not really trying to come to a resolution. You're just trying to push your line. And he wasn't negotiating in good faith for the reason that Rich said, like, bro, that's not a cut that you get. You're not a boss. Like, you may be a high-ranking member, but you're not a boss, bro. And you damn sure don't bring in more money than me. So, yeah, that amount seems right. But, again, Paulie's not negotiating in good faith because he has, like Rich said earlier, man, I already got plans for this money. I need them 50. That's why I made the move to put moms in Green Grove in the first place, because I knew I had these 50 G's coming. I wouldn't even never took her down there if I didn't think that I had 50 G's coming from off this job. But in the sense of how Ralphie played it, like, yeah, quoting, like, remember, $3 million in construction, I'm bringing that in. We just seen him drop a $300,000 bag off. Tony has to consider all of this and make a decision in a moment. 12, yeah, we can go with 12. That seems like a good play. And two, like you said, good point, Rich. I'm not going to pick up Lil Paulie, because what if it's more? I'm under the assumption that it was way more than 100 G's in there. That's what I believe. Like, they don't even really know what was in the safe. He might have. I feel like that he caught him on a good day and got even more than he thought was in there, which is why Tony's bag was even bigger.
Wow. Yeah, 12 G's.
That's how you get in position to Ralph in.
And Paulie miscalculated. I remember back in the day, I used to work at like Foot Locker and stuff, paid hourly, high school and stuff.
Me too.
Sometimes I get a little bit, you miscalculate your check. Work a little overtime. In my head, I'm doing the numbers. All right, man, I worked overtime. I'm supposed to get this much. That check come, like, damn, like Texas took what? Like, I thought I was going to have a little bit more to mess around with. Probably miscalculated that overtime, man, because I don't know. I really genuinely want to know where Paulie got 50,000 from. If that really was something that was discussed, or if he just came up with that number in his head and just said, I gave you this, so I know off rip I'm getting 50 G's.
I think that Ralph told him it was 100 in there. I think that Ralph told him it was 100 in there. He was asking for half.
I couldn't see Ralph agreeing to that. I couldn't see Ralph telling Paulie, I'm giving you 50, because Paulie never directly said, you told me you were giving me 50. He's just saying I'm owed it.
Yeah, because it's like,
I don't think that Ralph ever told him he was giving him anything, which is why they had to sit down. I agree with you there. I think that Paulie was under the assumption after the play was made, hey, Ralph, how much was in the safe? Oh, 100 large was in there. And that was probably just Ralph giving him a number, because, again, I believe that there was a lot more in there. Oh, there was 100 large in there. And then next time I see you, hey, where my 50,000 at? Wait, what? What are you talking about, bro? I just told you it was 100 large in the safe. Yeah, you owe me 50. Like, nah.
You know what I think?
That's how the get strung out.
Here's what I think. I think Paulie was under the idea that, okay, we're going to split this thing in half. The reason we're splitting it in half, because that's your territory, but I got a guy that has the codes. You're going to send one of your guys to break in on the safe, and I'm going to send one of my guys to break in on the safe with you, Lil Paulie. So now we got one of your guys, one of my guys, and we're going to split. We're going to bust it down at the end, at half and half. I'm thinking, but when they cut Lil Paulie out of it, then it's like, okay, so you didn't have nobody on the inside. And on top of that, now really all you gave me was the code. So you didn't have really no real manpower, no real stake in it. So I don't owe you half of anything, even though I'm not saying they agreed on it, but it could have been like, hey, we'll work it out later. And then here we are. But I think that might be Paulie's thinking.
I think there's a certain trust amongst wise guys that we're going to figure this shit out at the end. I think if little Paulie had been there, it would have been a whole different situation, because he could have been there to account for everything, witness everything. This is what was contributed, all of that kind of stuff. But since that didn't happen, Ralphie now gets to control the chessboard. I get to control what happens, what was said, what was owed. Because if Paulie had tempered his expectations, then he would have looked at that as a lick. I just got 15 G's, I'm just giving you some numbers.
So it's the Green Grove thing throwing it off for him.
Yeah, like I told you, when you got something to do with that money, when I had this money, like I said, if it wasn't for Green Grove, all right, cool, I'll eat it. I'm going to be pissed about it. But I remember that in the future. I'm gonna make sure I get my lick back and make sure that I cut Ralphie out on something. But it wouldn't be a big deal. It wouldn't be sit down level. Well, maybe it would be sit down level, but we wouldn't be carrying it this way if it wasn't for Green Grove. Like, I promised moms this. Like, where the fuck am I gonna get this bread now? I got it, but I gotta stretch myself out on some other things. So now he's scrambling.
Fair assessment. Adriana goes shopping, and we see Danielle is undercover here. They're having a little conversation about the funeral, or I guess the burial at this point. And I got some questions. Okay, I got some questions about that, but we'll get there. And then I already kind of spoke about the Danielle thing, the storyline there, but is there anything else y'all get from this scene other than the setup of we got one undercover and now she's befriending Adriana?
Yeah, this didn't look good from the start.
Okay.
You can kind of tell that A wasn't gonna be able. I'll say this so I won't spoil it. It surprised me that she was that open to talking to a stranger, even if it's just about stuff that they can relate to, like coffee and clothes. But it was surprising that she was that, her guard was that off.
Yeah, it didn't throw me off that much. Adriana really had no friends, so it didn't throw me.
For that.
I don't think it was because of that. I don't think it was because of that. Like because of her relationship or nothing like that.
I do.
I mean, maybe that's a part of it. Okay, that is a part of it because you have like a real controlling, physically abusive fiance, so that is a part of it. But yeah, but there is an ad.
I got one thing
before. Well, go ahead.
Wait.
Okay,
now, let's do your ad.
Okay,
first,
here's
man.
the ad. Call it Rich Coffee. No, I'm just playing. No, seriously, the ad though that I do have, the ad for this week is it's an ad for Starbucks. Go to your nearest Starbucks. It's the holiday special holiday season. Get your Adriana La Cinnamon Latte, which with all fresh ingredients: steamed milk, espresso, sugar cane, laxative, and to top it off with cinnamon. So go into your latest Starbucks, use the promo code Choco Brigette, and get 10% off your Adriana La Cinnamon Latte. Go get it now.
Oh, the promo code is crazy, bro.
The Choco Brigette.
Yeah, man, the promo code is crazy. I got a little bit of information about this scene.
Okay.
For those who don't know, I know you know Mo. Fairuza Balk, I believe I'm pronouncing her name correctly. She's an actress. You would know her as she was in The Waterboy as Bobby Boucher's girlfriend. She's been in Almost Famous. She was in American History X. If you know her, if you see her, you'll know who she is. She originally played Danielle on the original airing of the show. So when it came out in 2001 and originally aired on HBO, there was a different actress that was playing that role because it was supposed to be a one-time thing. Fairuza was such a fan of the show that she reached out and said, hey, I want to be a part. I want to do a one episode type of thing just to say I was a part of this great show. They shot it, it aired. Then HBO decided, or David Chase decided that he wanted Danielle to be a recurring character. I did look it up, Mo. She had 7 episodes.
7?
You see her for 7 episodes.
Okay, that's more than I thought.
But they wanted her to be a recurring episode, which Fairuza wasn't. She didn't agree to it. She didn't want to do it. She didn't want to be that involved into it. It was just more of a fandom type of thing. Sort of like if anybody out there is Entourage fans, your favorite entertainer want to be on an episode of Entourage. Just let me call somebody and get on there. It's that type of thing. Mm-hmm. So they ended up reshooting all the scenes with the actress that we now know as Danielle. Mm-hmm. If you get the DVD, if you see the reruns, you'll see her on there instead of the original. But you can't find it on YouTube. Mo might put the link in the description or something like that. Mm-hmm. You can even tell when you're watching the scenes, if you're looking at Adriana, anytime Danielle's talking, they're just showing a little piece of her hair. There's never like them in the same frame while they're shooting them. So you can tell it was reshot.
Nice. Well, I know she's in, like you said, 7 episodes, but I don't think her story tracks for 7. But we'll get there again. But yeah, great info right there, Rich. That's good. Tony's watching the Penis Doctor on TV. He said, "Hey, I know this guy. Obviously, from the executive game." From the executive.
A crazy way to introduce him, man.
What?
Right, Penis Doctor is crazy.
Not just the executive game, just last week.
Yeah,
he passed up Furio. Remember, he was shooting that commercial.
But Tony wasn't there though.
Yes, he was. That's when Chris went off on him. I'm doing him tonight. That's when Chris took him right out that room.
You're right. Okay, that was my bad.
Remember, he was shooting that commercial when Tony called him.
Okay, why is he even doing this? Like, I know this guy. Like, bro, you just seen him last week.
This is how it is when you see somebody you know on TV.
He's like, oh, I know a celebrity.
Oh, hey, I know him.
But I think some time had passed too, though, right? Like it was supposed to. It wasn't. I don't think in their world it was last week. I think we were supposed to think that Jackie Jr. had been hiding for a little longer than that. You're right. Because I think that's why I was talking about a timely fashion with Ralph in the car. Mm-hmm. So I guess probably a week, maybe. I mean, we've seen Furio. He's still fresh off the injury. Probably. Yeah, a couple weeks maybe. But yeah, we get AJ comes downstairs. Oh, Sergeant Bilko.
He walks down the stairs.
I used to watch Sergeant Bilko, man. That shit was my shit.
Oh wow!
With that show.
I have no idea what that is.
I used to love like old TV shows that came on TV Land. And Sergeant Bilko was he's a ridiculous character. Like, yeah, if you watch an episode, if you're in the old TV shows, you definitely get some laughs out of him. He's ridiculous.
That's what your grandparents
made a movie, man. They made a movie in the 90s with Steve Martin as Sergeant Bilko.
Sergeant Bilko was like, to give an example, maybe Gomer Pyle or somebody like that. But he was a ridiculous person.
I don't even.
You don't know who Gomer Pyle is?
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Damn, that's crazy.
But
okay.
I trust your word, brother. Yeah. I trust you, man. I didn't pull out my history book.
Shazam.
I gotta make sure I pull out my history book.
Said the name, I'm like, Mo don't know that, bro.
I gotta get. I
don't think Mo go past the 80s.
I gotta get the phone book, bro. I gotta go get my phone book out of
The phone book is crazy. Old TV shows used to be my bag.
Well, but you say you grew up with your great grandparents, right?
Yeah.
So they was probably into like, okay, that's why I said that. I figured that kind of tracks right on brand and nothing like that. But Carmela's complimenting AJ and she says, "Oh my gosh, if I wasn't already married." I thought this was adorable, but this is cringy.
It's always cringy when they do that.
It is so.
It's always cringy when they do that, man. There's the movie This Christmas. The movie This Christmas. There's a moment when the cousin comes up and looks at his other cousin and said, "And if you wasn't my cousin, like that shit always weird to me. Like what the fuck you mean if I were your cousin? Stop, don't."
Like,
no,
why would it even been a thought?
Now that's cringe, but it ain't cringe like this cringe. You came out of my vag. Like, what are you talking about?
Saying. I get what she was saying, so I ain't trying
like,
to do it. But it is a weird thing to say.
I mean, you so many other ways to say, "Oh, they're gonna be on you." Like, "Oh, these girls are all these girls that got a chance."
Yeah, just call me handsome, man.
Just call me handsome, man. Like that was
You look nice. That works.
Yeah, that works. You stupid. That looks nice. But we find out AJ passes out, and this is the second time that we've seen AJ pass out, I believe. The first time was the football game after he got the like MVP of it or whatever.
It was at practice at the end of the episode.
Is there anything I want to add to that? We can go right into the Melfi part of the AJ thing because I know y'all not really that invested in
the Melfi part's the important part.
It's the first time that Tony's seen him.
Yep.
Tony knows about it because the school kept it from the other time, right?
Yeah, yes. He mentions it in the Melfi part, like he's gonna sue him because they didn't say anything.
Yeah.
He was misdiagnosed for dehydration.
Yes. Tony's taking this really hard though. In the Melfi scene, he's taking it really hard that his gene is the soprano putrid gene is now in his son. I know y'all not parents, but boy, this is a real thing. Like Big Crit has a song called Generation, I think it's Generation Down or something like that, but he talks about his being scared to be a parent and like all of his concerns of his genetics being passed down. I might have to send that to y'all. Y'all got to check this out. Like from y'all perspective, y'all will really appreciate it. But like all of his reserve, all of his, what if I have this, what if they do like, what if they got this from you? What if they, so this really registers for me. How did y'all feel about this though? Like that feeling of what if they get the worst parts of me?
It's interesting because he already dodged the bullet. He didn't get the worst. AJ never got the worst parts of him from what he does from a business standpoint. AJ's never been Jackie Jr. He's never tried to get in that life. So I think that's one thing Tony was probably worried about more than anything. When his son was born, I don't want him to get involved with this. Definitely with Meadow, but definitely with AJ as well. Like once he realized, he ain't cut for it, we'll keep him far away and protect him. So he doesn't have to earn a living like this. Dr. Melfi said it best, man. When you blame your genes, you're blaming yourself. And I'm sure that is a lot to carry, that you don't want to be responsible for. A lot of the weight, especially guys who don't show emotion like that, people like Tony Soprano, it's what happens to the people they love. It's the reason Batman wears a mask, right? I don't want anything to happen to the people that I care about. And Tony can't control that. Like, I got to go through it. I know I can hold the weight of having my panic attacks and trying to figure out what's going on. I can sort that shit out. But AJ, nah, he's such a young age. He has more access to what this means. When it happened to Tony when he was a kid, nobody knew what the fuck happened. It was a spell or whatever they want to call it. Now we know it's a panic attack. Now we can have the terminology for it and give him the help he needs. But yeah, man, I can't believe that. Why did any of my best skills, why didn't any of the good shit pass on to AJ? Why am I so confused by this kid? Is this the reason he's so fucked up? And I don't mean to say that lightly because of, like I said, what he's been diagnosed with, at least on the internet. But damn, like, I couldn't pass no good gene, none of my good qualities to this kid. He ain't even charming. At least I'm charming. He ain't even charming. What the fuck is going on, man? Am I to blame? I think all of that's going through Tony's head.
Yeah, that's well said by Rich. I agree. Some of the reserves that I've had of becoming a parent is some of the same things like what you said, the Big Crit was saying, and what Tony sees here. Like, you don't want to put your kids in a position where they can't succeed. And if you think that you're passing down traits, they're going to keep them from that. And I'm sure that's hard to deal with. Yeah. And we see Tony dealing with it. It's like what you said with AJ crying. That was a good pull. We see Tony cry a lot too. Tony's an emotional dude as well. He just has the balance. AJ doesn't have the balance to balance out the emotional side.
Yeah, it's a really interesting scene. I love it. We get to Jackie's burial. This seems weird to me because this is like 2 days later. Did y'all catch that?
Italian thing. It might be an Italian thing.
Okay, that's why I was wondering. Hey, if we have any Italian listeners, please educate us.
I've seen black people do it that way though.
I've never seen this in my life.
People don't. Some people will separate the actual funeral and the burial. Like it'll be.
So when they put it back, put the body back in the freezer and come back?
It stays at the funeral home. I'm sure the funeral home has a storage place.
Oh, okay.
But no, they probably take it from the church or wherever they hold it, and then take it back to whoever.
I mean, what is decomposing? I mean,
they take it back to whoever did the body. Whoever probably prepared the body for the funeral would be it would be their job to store it and then take it to the grave site.
That is,
I've seen that happen before.
That's a new one on me. I'm not saying it's not needed or everybody to each his own. It just seems like a super inconvenience. Stretching it out. It's a lot of pain and a lot of sadness and a lot of, it's hard, man. And so it's like stretching out like, oh, we got to relive it again, and go through a whole different bag of emotion. But nonetheless, like you said, people probably have done that. But Paulie Walnuts begins running and he's jetting. It's probably the fastest I've seen Paulie run in the show.
I can't believe you skipped over Carmella hopping down that fur. You usually.
I said that fur was clean, boy.
Hey, that's my bad. That's the fur from that Tony bought her, right? That's
a different fur.
That's a different fur.
Is it?
That fur that Tony bought looked like a lion. This is more of like a fox meat. Like that's a darker brown.
I don't know.
Trust me, bro. That's a darker brown. That's not the same fur that Tony got her.
All right, let me see.
That's a whole new one.
Why? I'll look it up while I was doing it, but there's a lot of different fun.
Remember how big that fur was, bro? When she had it on, she had no clothes on. That shit was huge. It wrapped her up. Like that's not that's more of a form-fitting type of fur.
Somebody's fried. They said Carmella F Tony in the fur. It's not like a rapper line. I'm sorry. It just sounded like a rapper line. F Cho in a fur or something. But
the biggest thing is that's a difference. The one she's in now,
you're right though.
It's a darker brown than
you're right.
She had.
Yeah, that's the bedroom fur that she had on. But all right, so you can only dream, right? Paulie, but like I said, Paulie get the sprinters going. This is probably the fastest I've seen him run, even when they were chasing Mikey Palmici season 1. This is probably faster than that, in my opinion. And this is really good for Tony Sirico to be his age. He's really moving. Like he definitely probably was running the treadmill. But we know that wise guys don't run. It's embarrassing. Words from Uncle Junior. Silvio gets arrested. And Chris gets arrested.
Junior break his own rule?
Junior broke his own rule, man.
Junior got up out of there.
Junior, don't leave me.
Bobby. You did my boy Big Bobby dirty, man. Junior was driving like a stunt man.
Yo, Silvio's wife got on a crazy fur too. You see him getting arrested. Her fur nice too. Like,
but
this is a scene. We find out this is a theme every year. They arrest them all the time for illegal gambling. And he said, "I'll be home before the soup, before the soup cools down." that's just the usual thing that happens every time during Super Bowl, which is funny that gambling's legal now. I just thought that was something to highlight. This I think his name is, we find out Jackie's name, that's Jackie is short for Giacomo, or maybe that's the Italian way to say his name.
It's Italian. Yeah.
It's Italian. Okay,
bro, they real Italians, bro.
No, I love it.
Just,
I love it. Come through.
This shit run deep.
Hey, come through with it. I love the heritage. You know what I mean? I love all that. But after the junior part of it, Tony's looking so crazy, like the disrespect, but like, bro, the actress that plays Ro, like, oh my gosh, bro, she bodied this, like, oh, like, ah, man, I felt so bad. I was like, dude, you really thought this was her real son?
How I go, Mo?
So I really felt bad for her. I know what you're trying to do. Ray P be getting you like that too. That's why I said, nah, do it again. What was that?
That's funny.
Oh, but nah, yeah, it was just really, really sad scene. Really sad. And then Meadow breaks down too. And again, it's just fire. They anything I want to highlight about that, the burial scene in there?
No, a lot of blank stares and looks. Get a look from AJ, get a look from Tony. But yeah, Ro did a fantastic job, as you said.
Goodness gracious.
No, wasn't much there.
Okay. We go to the, I guess what is, I don't even know what you call this, because it's like I'm so confused that what it's the way we do it at Black Funeral.
Almost
The repass, but then there's a Vesuvio version of, I don't know, like, you know,
this is like the transition before we get to Vesuvios.
Oh, so this is like the change part.
Like change or do whatever you need to do. We're gonna link at Vesuvios at this time. You know.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. But yeah, we get this conversation between Meadow and Jackie's sister. Something I wanted to really point out is I really wish we would have got more of this character. This is just my personal opinion with Jackie's sister. She's always seemed like a interesting character, and her story could have been she didn't have to be a main character, but her up with Meadow, I feel like could have been some really interesting things, like with that kind of relationship part of it. We didn't get that, unfortunately, but I really wish we would have gotten more of her. But what did y'all think about Meadow kind of checking her?
It seems like she knew what happened, what Jackie did. But again, I still don't think that Carmela knew. And I think the explanation for that is she was outside. Like, I'm sure that she's associated with some people who are also cool with Jackie. And they told her, nah, your brother tried to rob the card game. Because she seems to know what happened. That's how it came off to me.
Mm.
And Meadow was kind of, as she does, defend the honor of being Italian.
I feel like she would have been a worthy adversary for Meadow, just from the simple fact that I think they both have that same awareness of just picking up on the context clues and putting things together. Like, they've been around this life. You got to think this is the same as almost having a Tony Soprano. Jackie was the boss before Tony. Like this, I've been in your shoes, Meadow. I know what's going on. I paid attention too.
Big facts.
All of that kind of stuff. I also think that she's a little bit of Barb. I don't think she's as involved. Even when she mentioned Jackie, you know, all my brother wanted to do was follow this stupid, you know, his footsteps and blah, blah, blah. And she's not very high on the life that they live. You can tell by the way she loosely speaks about it. Because if she was involved, like Meadow knows, she knows not to cross those lines. It's more of some real gang shit.
Yeah.
Like, bro, it's an outsider. Hey, you know what you doing talking out of turn? Like, nah, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, don't ever bring up family business like that outside. Don't ever, like Don Corleone said, don't ever say anything. I'm gonna fuck up the quote now.
Basically, family business is family business. Basically,
pretty much. Yeah, it was pretty much. But don't ever speak. Don't ever talk. Yeah, don't ever talk in mind against the family, against or go against the family, and all of that. My bad, y'all.
I said, give us the black version.
Godfather fans. Yeah, man. Father Godfather fans out there. I got that shit on the poster too, and I forgot it. Yeah. Okay. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I really liked her character, but like I said, we didn't get any more of her. I think there's an opportunity missed there, but that's just me.
What would you have wanted her to do? Is what I'm curious on.
What role would she have played in this world?
What role?
You wanted her to be like a Meadows friend?
Yeah, maybe like Meadows' friend, some kind of way tying it into Jackie's story. Like if they like maybe Meadow and him break up and she comes into certain things, or I don't know. I feel like because she wasn't there at the Christmas Thanksgiving dinner when they was having a family dinner with Jackie and Ralph. Like she wasn't around at all. I just feel like we could have seen her a little more.
That's why I said I think she's Barb. I don't even think she lit her anymore.
Yeah,
I think
she's
she flew
definitely
in
Barb.
for the service and all that. She ain't around.
Yeah, she Barb. Yeah,
Like,
right.
I knew what this. I grew up with this shit. I ain't never like it. I'm out. And I'm the same way Meadow was trying to go to Cal or Berkeley. She probably fucked around and really went there.
We go to the next thing. I'm sorry. Tony at Vesuvio's. He pulls up. Paulie acknowledges him. He says, "Hey, you want to have a drink?" He does the same thing Ralph does. Nah, I gotta go. Ma's alone. Like no good reason. Like your mom is always alone. But the fact he says, "Nah, Ma's alone," he just cuts out. Which Tony obviously know there's some sass there, but rightfully so. We see Junior, which is good to see him at Vesuvio's, and Tony is sopping up the gravy off his plate, saying it's really good today. And he said, let's be real, man. The kid was dumb. He almost drowned in 3 feet of water, and they thought it was a learning disorder. Drowning in 3 feet of water is crazy. Like, I've took my daughter in swimming, and she's taller than 3 feet, obviously. And it's like, I'll tell her, like, you're fine, bro. Like, relax. So, like, drowning in 3 feet when you can just stand up is ridiculous.
Oh, that's funny as hell, man.
But Junior has a line here, and y'all can speak to this. Junior, he says, if Jackie Sr. was alive, that Vesuvio's would be full regardless of what the kid had done. I think it speaks difference to the generation. Is that what y'all gather from that line, or?
It's all about the position. It's all about the position, man. Richard Nixon was a piece of shit, but everybody packed out his funeral. Why? Because he was president. And I got invited to a prestigious thing, yeah.
And to the point of what you guys said earlier, like some of the made guys or the organized crime guys, excuse me, they probably would have seen it as disrespect to go to the funeral because of what Jackie did. Shot 2 made guys, robbed the dice game and whatnot. So that probably played effect into it too. And then Super Bowl weekend probably played effect into it. I think there's a lot of things from that. I do, with that line and with Junior having this conversation with Tony, it's always great that Junior is that previous generation. And this being a show about coming in at the end of things and Junior explaining how it was and how it would have been when we were thriving in the good times. I always enjoy that.
Yeah, I agree with everything y'all said. When Paulie's getting ready to leave, who's he see? John Sacramone. And so
Johnny Sack, man, always in the right place.
Always at the right place, right time. And I believe, and y'all may see it differently, but I just believe Johnny Sack was literally, he just paying his respects. This play wasn't a play until it became one. Like,
you crazy. Oh, hold on. Explain it all. Go a little further. Before I call you crazy, go a little further. Tell me what you mean.
All right. So, he making a joke because, he's familiar with the Soprano crew. He likes the Soprano crew. Like, he feel like one of them, but don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? Like, I'm New York, but I rock with y'all. I be eating dinner with y'all. I be, whatever. So he's like, look, he got the Mona Lisa of noses, like just clowning on him, joking and stuff. And then he's like, man, what's going on, man? What's up? He's like, nothing. Like, no, go ahead. And then he starts to complain about Tony. And then he's just like, well, I don't stick my beak in. And then when he kept going, I feel like, oh, now the wheels started turning. I don't think he came over there to him trying to make no play, bro.
I think he came over making a play. He just didn't know what the play was. Let me see if I can get some information out of Paulie. Because we know Paulie runs his mouth. That's why he coursed it out of him. And that's why he even said, I don't stick my beak in. The way he said it and shrugged it off, calling himself Uncle Paulie. Come on, man. Uncle John. He didn't know what the play was, but he knew I can get something. I can lead us to this. You that frustrated? Oh,
not at that point.
Carmine asked about you. I think he walked over knowing.
I'm telling you, when because he's sitting there just smoking like, bro, what's up? Like, and because it's all over. Y'all be giving so much credit. Y'all be giving so much credit to like these guys are still regular. Like, they're intelligent and they're always going to, do what they got to do to, get their next racket off, obviously. But sometimes it's like, bro, these dudes be having regular moments and they don't necessarily have to be hypered to be on the screen for us to see it. I feel like you can see where it transitions from, okay, now I got to play here. Let me now when he said, okay, talk to Uncle John, like then I feel like, okay, what's going on? And then he started finding out more because it was this moment where he says, yeah, Carmine. So that's when I knew. I said, oh, now he's tapped into, let me create this bond so I can get a person on the end now that plays. But I don't think he walked over with like, oh, I'm about to make a play because he's over here. He looks angry. Paulie about to cut out. He's smoking a cig anyway.
I'm not saying he did it on some, he looks angry and about to make a play. I'm just saying, you know what? The odds are, if I go over here and strike a conversation with Paulie Walnuts, I bet I can get some information out of him that I didn't know I could get. I'm not saying that he looked at it that sense, but he knew if I am to gain anything, then that's going to be it. It could be nothing. It could be something. But now, and to your point, once I see the opening, I'm going to go in. But I think he fully went over to Paulie. It wasn't just a casual, how you doing, how you been? Because he looked at Paulie's face and was like, it's a funeral. I expect you to look like that. I wouldn't read into that anything else. Like, yeah, I know it's a rough day. If I was just genuinely over there to say, what's up, man? I just want to let you know, Carmine, us, the whole family, got y'all back, we holding it down, man. I know it's sad, all that. He went over there on some, man, let me see if I can just get Paul. He's been making moves since he came over to New Jersey.
I was just about to say, both of y'all are kind of right, but we got to remember that's why Johnny Sack is here. That's the reason, as Rich just said, he moved over there. We discussed in one of the episodes. So, Mo, to your point, he probably didn't go over there thinking, oh, I'm going to get vital information. However, he did go over there with the intention of, like Denzel said, I'm leaving here with something. Like, I'm leaving with something. Like, he walked over there with that intention. And because that's the character that we know Johnny Sack as.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's amazing how he did that. Like, but one line that Johnny Sack, he's very wise. Like in like the regularness of things too. Johnny Sack is really wise because Johnny Sack has this line. He says, "Don't confuse money with caring." Look how he treated his mother. I mean, obviously we know there's a lot more ramifications of Livia's condition and all that, but like just the fact that he says, "Don't confuse money with caring," man. Because all of these guys confuse money with caring. How they deal with their wives, how they deal with their kids. That's why Johnny Sack don't necessarily, I feel like he got a big house for him and Jenny, but what matters more is how he loves his wife and how he's committed to her. He don't have no gumars. He don't confuse money with caring. So, but then later on, I think that he confuses caring with money when it comes to, I need you to do something for me. So, but that's funny. But at this moment, that's a bar, bro. It's like, oof. Come on, Johnny.
Sure.
But
I thought the line I thought you was gonna say was Jenny can get heavy.
Why would you do that? Why would you, anyways? But Carmine asked about you.
Carmine asked about you was crazy. Carmine asked about you was crazy.
Wondering, is he dead? Is Paulie dead yet?
Like, bro, that
fucker's been around since I was
Carmine asked about you is like, can somebody get Ja Rule on the phone? that's the equivalent of this world, like Ja Rule. Anyways, let's try
that feeds right. That goes right into your whole theory, Mo. Like he saw that. Carmine asked about you. Carmine ain't asked shit. Bro. He played Paulie like a fiddle.
Bro, he would really like that. Like, he's New York boss of one of the five families. You think he's asking about a capo over in Jersey that doesn't really earn? Like, come on. It's crazy.
I've been thinking
the only way he probably asked about him is like, again, he probably been around so long, he was probably surprised. Like, damn, he's still kicking. Paulie's still out here. I thought he'd be dead.
Well, we find out later. Only way he remembered Paulie is from some terrible information about Paulie's origin. So that's the only reason he even knows him. He don't even know him outside of that. We get Carmela and Meadow shares how Jackie felt about his parents, saying he felt like they didn't really care, and he just did whatever he wanted to. And she also uses this when Carm says, now you see, and she like thinks you're using this as like a controlling method or whatever, and they just have a quick little spat. If y'all want to add to that, y'all can. I didn't care nothing about this. I hate when Meadow does this wishy-washy emotion thing. It sucks. I hate it almost as much as AJ's undefined feelings. Like,
I like
Nah,
Metal Little Ranch
I mean,
sometimes. Yeah, I mean, it's cool. I don't have anything to add to it, but
Okay.
I like it sometimes. She adds more depth to the show as far as being in. She one of the few people that are in the know, but not really a participant.
mhm.
Um, we go to the last scene of the episode, Vesuvio's. Ralph is telling this joke. He says, Rabbi goes, "Don't touch me. I'm a total disability." I did not get that joke at all. I guess we were supposed to
Well, you missed the
understand
beginning of it. You don't get the setup.
what
You was just, I
that's where
think.
they brought us in
Well,
at.
no, yeah, I don't think you were supposed to get the joke. I just think you're supposed to get the tone of the room.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like
that's one of my favorite. That's
drove
one
it
of
a
my
little bit.
favorite tropes. TVs, movies. I love when they bring us in and people get weak. I'm like, well, damn, what the fuck was the joke? I want to know
Yeah.
too because they over here getting weak. One of my
Yeah.
favorite tropes.
Yeah. He said, "Young bearded."
There's one important thing to notice about that joke though.
What?
Who laughing a little too hard?
Oh man, and the
Let me
position.
see.
That's
Oh,
nasty work. You
Janice.
doing that shit at the burial. The
The
mother,
funeral.
yeah, of the child.
Yeah. I
Of
mean,
Where's Aaron? Is Aaron gone? Like she just
bro,
passed the
where my
dinner
man
line. Where's
Aaron at, man?
Does he sleep?
There you go. He
Has he
sleeps somewhere, man.
has he heard the bad news?
He out of
Janice
here,
is
man.
gone. Janice
That was
is
good.
gone.
But I tell you, this is that small interaction does tell me one thing though, at how locked in Janice be.
Mm-hmm.
You think that she don't know that Ralph out here getting money?
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't think that was the play as far as she kind of got in with the coke thing. Oh, give me a little bit of that. So we see the introduction. Now she probably peeping the scene. She can sniff out money.
Mm-hmm.
So Janet's making her play because she know Ralph out here getting it in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because we didn't, Richie hunted her down.
Right.
Now we get to see Janice make her play. Like I'm the one setting this up.
Yeah.
And from here on out, everybody else that Janice does ended up spending some time with. That's her play. She making that move.
Mm-hmm. Now reality can be whatever I want. Chris and Silvio get out on bail. Junior begins singing. He drops a banger on them. Everybody's in tears. Meadow throws bread, runs off, and the song is "Ungrateful Heart." Yeah, that's about all I got. I don't have anything else to really add to this singing scene. But we're going to get into our rankings. But I do want to say,
you don't want to get into Meadow acting out, just real quick.
Okay, go for it.
Just really what you thought that was about. Like I think that was just her realizing all of this is bogus. Like y'all know everybody in this room is responsible for why we here in the first place. We all acting like it's all sad and shit. I'm tired of playing.
Mm-hmm.
And also mixed with her emotions of feeling this is someone I love. This is someone I probably slept with a month ago, 6 weeks ago, probably at the latest. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a lot to hold on to. So I'm literally running away from the bullshit. And I think that's a big reason why Tony let her go. Like, all right, man, like she earns that. She knows.
She get it. Right.
Yeah.
I agree with you. That well said.
It is well said.
Wait, real quick though. My man Artie is a sick dog, man. Like, bro, at the funeral, like you moping around like that. Your wife right here, bro, in front of my wife? Bro. Like, bro, come on, bro.
Like Artie swears.
Shout out to Benny, man. In front of my wife.
Bro.
In front of my wife.
Artie swears that she like he swears she's like the one that got away. Like he had a chance, like he thinks that this is does Adriana ask about you type. Like, bro, she's not even looking at you, bro. Hilarious.
I didn't even realize you was there. She thought you was back there cooking.
Didn't realize you getting back and make a dirty martini.
Facts.
Throwing the bread was crazy though.
That was crazy. Like, it was annoying.
Hey man, Uncle Junior, man, Dominique Chinese, dang, I always mispronounce his name, man. He sings in real life. He dropped the album in 2000.
Yeah, man. He was in that shot with Nas, wasn't he? I thought a photo op. I think.
Yeah, I think there was something like that.
Yeah, man.
I ain't seen that.
All right. Well, before we get out of here, we gotta, of course, leave y'all with a ranking and a little bit of a recap of the season. I want to see what the best episode was this season from all y'all, and this would obviously be based off the made episodes, and we'll see who gets the good earner of the season. broken balls of the season, and your favorite moment of the whole season. But before we deal with the season, let's deal with this episode. Spike Lou, how do you rank this episode?
I think this is a made episode. From the sense of the setups, tying all of the tying everything together, and the presentation that it makes for next season, of season 4. So yeah, I think this is a made episode. As I rewatched it, I remember this episode. It's one of the more memorable episodes. Of course, you get a major character that dies in this season with Jackie Jr. But again, all of the setups, all the different setups that you have that lead into, for me, season 4 is probably one of the best seasons of this. These next 2 seasons that we're about to do are probably the best 2 seasons.
I say next one, but
4 and 5 for me. 4, 5, and then 6B. 6A was probably
hey,
the worst
I got a lot of conversation about season 2. But anyway, we'll get back to that at a later. Well, okay,
but
made episode. What about you, Rich?
Everything Spike said was on point because I had the same thing written down as far as just the connection. That's the biggest thing that I liked. As a fan, if you're watching this in real time, you have to wait. They left you with a lot that you're like, damn, like all the best shows do that. Like, I can't wait until the season. So it ramps up when you see that it's coming back. Like, all right, bet. Let's see where we end up at. And it gets right into it at the start of season 4. The season 5 thing, I'm a big fan of season 5. Like I said, class of 2004, all of that. Mm-hmm. I think the biggest thing is, as you just mentioned, Mo, season 2. I said it earlier, man. Sopranos is kind of broken down in different eras almost, and that season 3 to season 5 era is its own thing.
Yep.
And to close that out, to close 4 and 5, to close out that little 3-season run, it's incredible. It's phenomenal, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's phenomenal. But it is a made episode. I didn't say it directly, but it is a made episode.
Okay. Y'all probably gonna be real surprised about that. This is just another envelope, bro. By far, this is the.
Actually, we're not surprised, bro. It's not surprising.
I wanted it to be a good earner. I knew it wasn't a made episode, but the reason it's not a good earner because it's really weak. Nothing really happened. We lost Jackie Jr., but he's not a player. The setups were cool. I mean, it's just the episode was funnier than anything. Like, I laughed a whole lot, but it's goofy. Even the ending when they switch up Junior's voice to all of these different translations of singing the Ungrateful Heart song, very cartoony. This is really weak. When we look at season 1, I Dream of Jeannie Cusimano, they shoot Mikey Palmisi. Tony's trying to kill Livia, and Junior ends up getting arrested. They bodied it. You go to season 2, even the penultimate, Big P getting killed. You know what I'm saying? That whole thing, that was fire. You get here, Jackie Jr. gets killed first 15 minutes. Then what? We just floating for the rest of the episode of Ralphie and Paulie beef. This episode is by far, it's the weakest Sopranos finale. I will watch it again, but it's just not it, bro. Like, I didn't really like this episode. Who gets the Good Earner Award for you, Spike?
The Good Earner Award for this episode for me goes to Ralphie. Ralphie made the play on Paulie. He did what he's supposed to do with Jackie Jr. Janice moving in on him. Like, things are looking up for Ralph going into season 4.
Okay. Rich?
No, I'm going with Tony on this one. Mainly because the main thing coming into this episode was what's going to happen to Jackie Jr. How's that going to play out? And the fact that it was a suitable way for the rest of the fellas while also staying away from Tony and everyone else. I think that was just a master work. Now, he did take some L's in other areas, AJ and things of that nature, but all things considered, I'm going to give Tony the Good Honors Award because that was a big thing to pull off.
Yeah. It's going to be a weird one here, but I'm going to go AJ. And the only reason AJ gets is because this man was this close to going to military school. He only got out because he got the putrid Soprano gene. They were going to send this man off, and we may have never seen him again, which is fine. But he just got out of it. Right. So I give it to AJ because he literally got out of that because of that condition. Fortunately, unfortunately. Who gets the Broken Balls Award for you, Spike?
I was going to give it to AJ. AJ get the Broken Balls Award for me for what you said about having the putrid soprano gene, being a dumbass and pissing in there and thinking that the DNA, like AJ just pissed me off his whole. Anytime I can give AJ
Oh yeah.
this award, I'm gonna give it to him. So it's AJ.
Okay. Rich.
Rosalie.
I know.
Rosalie gets the broken balls, man. Just for the
know.
simple fact of just how look how life, the arc of it is so fast, man. You can go down so fast. You just were the boss of New Jersey's wife 2 years ago to barely anybody showing up to the wake for your son. You know what I mean? To losing your son, to all of that. Like, you not even knowing. You're about to lose Ralphie. Like, everything that you know and that's been consistent for the majority of your life and your adulthood is all changing at once. It's hard going from the top to, being at the grocery store hunting down Carmela, talking about I need some money for shit. Like, that transition is happening, man. She doesn't even know how to deal with it, man. She's so doped up and everything else. She's even trying to escape it. So she's definitely got the broken balls. Unfortunately, it's a tragic because it's always the ones that have nothing to do with it, man. It's always the innocent bystanders that get affected the most.
Those are facts. I'm gonna do a different one here. I would say Jackie Jr. That's the obvious for most people listening, but I'm gonna go with the April bloodline. Jackie being killed, that's the end of an era with the April bloodline. There's no longer going to be an April male-led family, regardless of what occupation, in the mob or out. So the April bloodline gets the broken balls for me because there's no longer that in this universe. You lost both brothers and, I'm about to say Richie's son, but that probably ain't gonna happen either. So, favorite moment of this episode, Spike.
Favorite moment of this episode is the interaction at the table with Ralphie, Paulie, and Seal when he said he's in the projects in Boot. I like that.
Okay. What about you,
Tony and Ralphie. Tony. That's it. That's just the way he played it, man. Whoa. I thought we talked about this. You were going to get him a pass.
Okay.
Like, just the whole way he spun that, man. It was beautiful. Beautiful acting, comedic, everything you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna have to side with you on that. That was by far the best scene for me. This episode. Lastly, before we get out of here for this season, and we'll keep y'all posted on when season 4 start releasing. The best episode I want to see based on Spike. So here's the ones that you named as the made episodes on the Spike list. So your first made episode was Fortunate Son. Okay, sorry. The first one you had was Fortunate Son. Then Employee of the Month, episode 4. Episode, let's see, because you didn't do a whole lot. I think episode 8, He Is Risen. Episode 9, no, episode, what was it 11, Pine Barrens, episode 12, and in this episode, what is the best episode of this season for you, Spike?
Pine Barrens.
Pine Barrens?
Yes, sir. Pine Barrens is one of the most memorable Sopranos episodes, in my opinion. So I got to go with that one.
Okay. Rich, the ones that you have made, or do you already know which one is the best?
It's Pine Barrens. It's Pine Barrens.
Pine Barrens?
It's not, I can't.
I
hate the fact that it's even in a season because there's so many other episodes that deserve recognition for being the best, but it's Pine Barrens.
It's hard for me. It's not Pine Barrens for me. Yeah.
I knew it.
Another Toothpick is up there for me. I really like that one.
I can understand that.
We're going to go with this. Telltale Moosadale. I probably say Prosha Lavushka, the Livia funeral episode. It was a lot of different stuff in there. So that's definitely that for me.
Why was it that one for you?
Because it changed the trajectory forever for this show. And everything starts to really, like that's a pinpoint in the whole Sopranos series. And they did it so masterfully for me. More entertaining episodes by far, yeah, but to me that's the best one as far as you really made lemon out of lemonade or lemonade out of lemons. Anything else you want to leave, Spike, about this season, or about this season as we get out of here? Because we can go into who got the. I mean, it's Tony probably every season, so we don't have to go into it. But anything you want to leave the listeners from just this recap going through this season versus season 2 and season 1?
Buckle up. It's about to get better. If you've enjoyed it so far, then as Rich has stated, these 3, 4, 5 seasons, these are the sweet spot of the Sopranos.
Mm-hmm.
And in my opinion, even more so next season. This season, and why this show is so great, is that each one, they kind of set up the next season. Like it goes layers and layers deep. The stuff that pays off from season 2 and season 5, or season 1 and season 4, things of that nature. This is one of the most, as far as the foundation of this show and all the things that happened towards the end, this season coming up, I feel like it's one of the best ones. As far as season 3, it was great. Most memorable episode is, like you said, Pine Barrens, probably of the whole series. That's probably one of the most memorable episodes. Jackie Jr., I'm glad he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy that we're going to see there are more mob activities in season 4. This was a lot more family oriented and things of that nature. I like that we're moving into the actual Soprano family next season.
Like it. Rich, what about you? How do you feel with being your full season and looking back over everything up until now?
I said before, or once we finished season 2, that I was really excited about getting into season 3. Season 3 is Jordan's first ring. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think when the first 2 seasons come, as a viewer, you look and say, "Wow, I've never seen anything like this. This is an incredible show." I think this is that 84 through 90 era for Jordan. Then that first ring comes in season 3.
Yeah.
Like, this is the one where it's like, all right, then, like, now the people that were still out saying it's too much therapy, too much this, too much that. Season 3 is the one you like, nah, all right. Now I see why you fuck with that show, because it gives me the perfect balance of everything. Seasons 4 and season 5 are 2 and 3. That's the championships 2 and 3. This is the work that we putting in to make sure that we're staying dominant. This is what puts us in the history books. This is what makes us a legacy. These seasons are what makes us the greatest show of all time, and one of the greatest shows of all time, depending on who you are. Like Sopranos doesn't reach that lure without 4 and 5, and it also doesn't start without the groundwork laid from season 3. So they played it perfectly. Like what Spike mentioned earlier, I think this is the most evident. I think that it left the season where you know what's about to happen rolling into the new one, and it just starts from the top. The intro to our episodes are from the first episode of season 4. You know, Tony talking, that's from season 4, episode 1. Like all of this stuff that was not for that. The fire coming, y'all. It's just coming. It's undeniable. You can't stop it. You reach a point where you're like, damn, this show just fucking better. The Emmy Awards felt it. There was other TV shows on at the same time. They show up to the Emmys. Sopranos sweeping shit, bro. The show just ever. And shows just have that. It's a few in a generation. Game of Thrones, just Breaking Bad. You just had these shows that come through and just like a hurricanes. The Wire wasn't even like that when it came out.
Oh, yeah, right. You're right.
It was more the slow burn for them.
Yeah,
I'm debating on hitting play after we get done for the first episode.
He's selling it, ain't he, boy?
I might go in and run that today. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is something I'm going to watch twice.
Yeah.
While we're recording, I'm going to watch it on my own time and then watch the episodes as we record. It's just that good. There's so much that happens in season 4. Like the weight. The weight is something I've been waiting to talk about since this whole thing has started.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. I would just say as we wrap here, I've really enjoyed it up until this point. Like they said, they serve in different eras. I think going through this and the Armor Foe and this episode, I would pair those up against White Satin Armor and Funhouse of last season. We talk about penultimate and final episodes. It's a great battle. I think season 2 will get them as far as season 3, but season 3, I don't know if we want to say this is the most important season. We'll have that conversation at the end of our season 6 series recap. We'll do a whole series recap on its own. But I am excited for season 4. Season 4, like he said, is the ring, is the number 2, the repeat. season. Season 3 covered a lot of ground, from Livia's passing, Janice really in the picture, Jackie Jr., the Junior story, Bobby, like a lot. They covered so much ground in this season. But like Spike said, I'm very excited about the mob activity that is going to happen next season. We're going to start with getting tighter and tighter with the story, the Gloria, so many Melfi this season. I mean, we got so much here. So I am very excited and stoked. For our YouTube listener viewers, thank y'all for subscribing and tuning in. We really greatly appreciate y'all leaving comments. Some of y'all defending our honor. Some of y'all just showing love. We are greatly appreciative of all those. We try to get back to y'all, acknowledge y'all when we can. Yes.
Real quick, man, I'll be remiss if I didn't say this. I want to make sure I give YouTube brothers y'all flowers as well. This is for those listening or watching. When you look at something, when you take something that you love and it becomes homework, we were making content out of it, something that you're not just picking up a microphone, you want it to be worthwhile to the people that invest 2.5, 3 hours sometimes into what we're saying. That can be a difficult thing to do. It takes a lot to do everything that you do through the week, work, parenting, other responsibilities, and still put in extra time to make sure that you're putting out good content. To have two brothers that take this craft seriously, to be responsible with what they're saying in these microphones, and also to be funny and clever while we're doing it and breaking down a show this heavy in this way. I think Spike has mentioned the first Black podcast, or Mo mentioned the first all-Black podcast talking about the Sopranos. Something groundbreaking, man. I wouldn't have two other people that I would love to do this with. And I just want to commend y'all, and Mo specifically on the producing side, man, the work that you put in there. The editing, if you're watching on YouTube, the way Mo puts these into TV frames and has characters there, that's just something that puts thought and time into it, man. The presentation means a lot to you. The music backdrops that go into these episodes, like all of that it's very easy to say, fuck it, we got a good episode with just the dialogue, those extra touches.
Yeah.
I'm serious, man. It goes above and beyond. We do this out of our passion and love for it. And we hope everybody out there just appreciates it, man. We're enjoying this ride with y'all, and it's just ramping up. So shout out to y'all.
Very well said, brother. Appreciate that. And
Yeah, I can't even come behind that.
You're a major contributor. Yeah, you're a major contributor to this as well. And we appreciate this was the magic sauce. It was good when me and Mo were doing it. It was good when you two had episodes to do, but the trio makes it great.
This is it. This is it, man. We love this, man. Thank y'all. Like you said again, the subscribers, all y'all. Our retention rate is really good, but we'll talk about that off air. But we thank y'all for tuning in. This is the end of season 3. Get ready for season 4. We got some more special things coming. All the other things we got going, check our description. All of that'll be there. We appreciate y'all. And remember, don't forget about it.